pass the time. Hey y'all, welcome to Streaming Matters episode 65. Hold on a second, I'm looking to see what my issue. All right, well, I've already went live on Facebook, so it should, a little warning should go away. Let me see if I'm popping up live over here. Yep, I did. I've already went live on Facebook, so if I can, hold on a second. Let me see if I'm popping. I can't take the loud. Sorry about that. Hey, Pope, everyone's doing all right. I'm still learning about this StreamYard app because it allows me to stream to YouTube, which has been one of the normal things that I've been streaming to, but I can simultaneously stream to Facebook. So it looks like I'm streaming there, and I'm assuming that I'm going live. I think I'm on the YouTube. I think I'm on the Facebook.
I'm just check.
Yeah, see if oh, look at who's jumped in the chat. Who's losing the chat down there? Your girl.
Which one?
China Cat. What's up, girl? Mr. Phil, Lou, Mr. Butler, JJ Cord Cutter. I gave out invitations to different people. I sent one to JJ. I don't know if he's going to be able to come on. Hey, Bass, Ed B, what's up? I also may or may not have Kodi UK jumping in. He was talking to me earlier today about coming on, but that was about 4 hours ago, and I haven't heard from him since. So if he messages me, we will invite him in. So we have a few places if people want to jump in. We've got some spots if you want to jump in, if there's some information you would like to share and do all that stuff. Does it show on Facebook? Did you see that O'Neill?
Yeah, I can see it's on Facebook, and I can see you put your going live comment on there.
Okay.
I've just replied to a comment on there, so can you see that?
No. It's weird. It's weird how it doesn't. It's just odd that I don't see the comments from Facebook, which seems they've got this to where you can do this simultaneously. So you would think you would on my chat where I see the YouTube, and I'm supposed to be able to see the Facebook chat. So it's new comment. It's a new feature. So maybe they'll work that shit out. So yeah, let's hope they do. So heads up, I don't know why it's giving me the refresh hasn't happened over there, but hey, I hope everybody is doing well. We're going to talk about a few things that's happening in Kodi, some things that you might have heard about or not heard about. We will discuss some of that. A couple different add-ons I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about Fin. I've heard a little buzz about Fin here and there, but today I took a gander at it. I know Ed B had mentioned Fin and said that it was a good add-on. I wanted to check it out, so I messed around with it a little bit. I will show that in the show. We will also talk about a new add-on, and that reminds me to send a link to somebody else. Hold on a second, folks. There's another person that may come on that is in the development stages of a new add-on called Navi-X. It's a little twist on, if some of you old schoolers can remember, Navi-X. He's trying to create an add-on that would be more of a community-based add-on where people can submit links and submit XMLs, and other people can pull those into their add-on. It's still a work in progress. We'll show you a little bit of that. It's still not out. It's not public out there, but he's testing some stuff on it, and he's wanting to see if some people are willing to jump in and give some advice. So we'll see how that goes. Those are some of the subjects that I had on my plate. We'll start with one of my guests that's here, Mr. O'Neill. What's going on with you, brother, man?
Not much. Not a great deal. I'm enjoying this. I'm looking at my main screen. I can see my side on face. It's my good side.
Is that your good side?
I don't know. That's my best side.
Oh, well, at least, well, it could be the top. Your wife could say the top of your head. No,
No,
she's not going to say that.
no.
Oh, okay, all right. Well,
Miserable. My
huh?
wife is miserable. I'm looking for a new wife. If anyone's interested in taking place, I am a middle-aged fat bloke. I've got lots of money and I've got my own office.
Yeah.
If anyone would like to facilitate me in doing such, then send me a message on Twitter. I'm at O'Neill Explained.
And here we are. We're doing a little dating service. You know, streaming matters, dating matters.
Exactly.
So we're gonna...
Exactly. But no, other than that, nothing really much is going on. I've just pushed out an update to Let's Be Friends. I was getting hassled in the Telegram group by a few people just to get that up and running. So I've pushed that out. I've got another one which I've just showed you, which you've seen. You've had first viewing of the category builder that I'm doing, but I am building a new porn add-on for ACK.
Another one.
Another one.
But you know that it's one of those. Those are the. It's so funny that nobody watches that stuff, but they're the most popular. For whatever reason, I don't know who watches it, but nobody watches it because nobody admits to it.
Oh, no, I never watch porn.
Nah. Well, what's funny is that you and I mentioned before the show, we were talking about, I can look through YouTube and it shows me what are the most popular videos or over the last 48 hours and how many views for each thing. It gives you all these analytics that basically I don't pay attention to. But it gave me analytics of my popular videos and the last Streaming Matters, that was on there. And then Panty Raiders was on there, which I made a year ago. A small video that I made about an add-on that a friend of mine created called Panty Raiders, and you can guess what that was about. I had 68 views in 48 hours for that one video that I have never promoted. I made it so that the people that maybe want to look at something like that would be able to. And I'm thinking 68 people looked at that video, but then only, like, my Streaming Matters, I guess, was too long because there was like 20 people in that 48 hours had watched Streaming Matters, but 68 had watched that Panty Raiders that was over a year old. Go figure. It's amazing. Oh, but I have an unboxing. I have an unboxing. My third package of the day, folks. You know.
Oh, dear. I didn't unbox it earlier. I didn't unbox it.
Did you?
Yeah,
You
I got one of these. It doesn't work, though.
Oh, well. My microphone doesn't work very well with this software.
No, look, I got a really nice mic. Here it is. Hello.
Look at that.
It's me, O'Neill. I'm here on the radio for you. It doesn't work.
Well, whenever I put mine far away, people can't hear me.
Well, the reason it doesn't work is because I'm on a Mac. You know, because I'm a twat, and I have a Mac, and it doesn't.
No, who likes the Mac?
Are you in Harry's Safe Club?
No, but I can be. Oh, look at all the extras. Oh,
you've got Harry's Safe Club, and then you've got the Dollar Shave Club, right?
I guess. You can see I have to shave a lot.
Right. I can't use a traditional shaver. I have to use a cutthroat. I have one of those. Word of advice, ladies, if your man has one of them, turn it on and turn it round. Thank me in the morning.
So that's my unboxing. It has nothing to do with streaming anything. It was my third box. It was my third UPS delivery today, and I know the UPS man's like, why couldn't it all be at the same time? He had one delivery that was at 8 o'clock. The other one was about noon, and then this one just came. So thank you, Amazon. Well, that's from Kohl's.
You didn't order it from Amazon?
No, that's true. All three. One was from Amazon. The JB Weld was from Amazon. Then my dog food came, which is from Chewy. And then this was from Kohl's.com. So
imagine 20 years ago, we'd have to leave the house to do all of this stuff. And now
I did all that. I did all that. I did that all from here. So
someone said, what am I doing about Just For Him? I honestly didn't know it wasn't working. I haven't fired Kodi up in ages. Apologies if Just For Him isn't working. I will get to it. I've just had people smashing me in Telegram saying, when are you going to fix Let's Be Friends? It's getting late nights and dark at the night. Can you fix it? My wife goes to bed early and I want something to watch. So I fixed it.
You're so nice.
I I'm a nice guy.
Yeah, he's a nice guy. So let's see.
Yeah, nothing really from me is going on apart from that. I'm just I mean, I'm not hanging around long tonight because I've got such a busy weekend. I really don't want a busy weekend, but my daughter is going to a birthday party tomorrow, and my wife is like, text me saying, "Can you come tomorrow? Because I don't know anyone, and I'm going to sit there on my own." So she wants me to go with her to a party where I don't know anyone, while my daughter runs around and causes havoc. So I was like, yeah, sure, fine, great. And then on Sunday, my daughter's having a birthday party for herself, but her birthday is until the
Hey, Lex, you got to turn off YouTube. Or I'm hearing that.
I got nothing on, mate. It's all good.
All right. Test. Oh, I'm hearing me still.
Yeah. Maybe the connection's a bit bad. I don't know.
Oh no. Let's see. Oh, still hear me. Test.
Yeah, I can hear you, mate. All good.
I know I hear you, but I also hear myself through you.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm getting my voice. Which how do radio and TV guys do that? Where you can hear it, but you ignore it.
They have to ignore it. You can't hear anything. And if you do this and put your finger in your ear, you can't hear yourself. It just carries on as normal. The trouble with that, though, is I'm now shouting. I can't hear myself.
Yeah. Okay, so let's test. All right, Lex, you're still doing it. Well, hopefully, what we may have to do is I'll have to mute myself every time Lex goes to talk. He'll see if he'll sort himself out there. That's with he's got the Navi-X, and so we'll look at that. One of the big big buzz things that happened yesterday, I don't know if you saw that, Mr. O'Neill, is Nvidia, or I should say Amazon, accidentally let it slip out about the new Shield.
That was a phenomenal marketing exercise.
Yeah, it was an oops. They removed it.
Even if you have it, you still want a new one. There's no reason for you wanting a new one apart from the fact that you've got to have it.
That's true, because I have an Nvidia Shield and I want the new one, even though
I
this
don't
one
have
runs
an
just
Nvidia
fine.
Shield. I'm accepting donations for an Nvidia Shield and for a new wife. Maybe even a girlfriend. Certainly not a boyfriend. I don't swing that way.
Okay.
If you do, that's great. But I would like a girlfriend that I can see once in a blue moon when I can be bothered. And an Nvidia Shield, mainly.
Yeah. That's I think that that'll work. The new Shield, if that works out for you, let me know. Maybe it'll work out for me too. But let's see. So new price point. I'll say what's in. All right. So the Nvidia Shield has been out, and that, for people that don't know what an Nvidia Shield is, like, what the hell is that? All right, Nvidia Shield is a Android device, the very best Android device that you can get, except for maybe a high-end cell phone. Cell phones would, of course, be a little bit better, but Nvidia Shield is the top of the line for what we call Android boxes, which would be devices that we use to stream Netflix or APKs, or some of us that we use Kodi, or we use Amazon Prime. You can YouTube. You can stream all those things, and the Nvidia Shield would be the top of the line. And Nvidia Shield also gives you the ability to play video games. I can play Fortnite. I can play PC games on my Nvidia Shield due to the hardware that's in it. Top of the line.
Nvidia being one of the biggest graphics card manufacturers on the planet.
Yes. And Grindhouse got to say the PC is the best streaming device. Yes, I said the best Android. The best Android would be the Nvidia Shield. PC, I mean, again, PC depends on what you build. Android TV, what's that? Which one's it?
Shit.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's just some plain old box. Oh, a MeCool. Okay, MeCool's that's not bad. I mean, that's low end, middle of the road.
No, I despite the fact that I do Kodi stuff and Plex, I do like to use the official Netflix APK, because I have a Netflix subscription. Netflix on this is shit. It
No,
doesn't
because
work.
well, and you're going to be Netflix is up to 4K, but you're not going to get anything over 720 on Netflix on a device that's jailbroken or anything like that, or
the app itself is crap. The app doesn't work, and try and downgrade it or use a third-party app just doesn't work with it at all. Because it's, I mean, the mouse on it's crap, right?
Oh yeah, those remotes are the worst. I mean, if a fly is between you and that Android box because it has an RF, it's the old remote. You know, it's got to be in direct line. I mean, if a flake of dust or a fly goes between you and the Android box, it'll won't pick up a signal. So they're terrible.
I have a new toy.
Oh, okay.
Did you see my Twitter yesterday?
I think I saw it. I think I read through it and I couldn't figure out what it was.
Hang on. Because I was bored.
Oh, no, I did not see about that. A projector. Yes. Nice. Oh, break it. It break it before you even use it. Oh, that's classic. He's gonna break his MacBook as well as his projector in one fatal fall.
Little projector, because in here there's nothing, right? There's just fucking tools and shit. So I thought, oh, you know what? I'll buy a projector. It cost me 50 quid. It's so cheap, but it promises to do 1080p. The build quality of it actually isn't too bad. I haven't tried it out yet, but if I review it and share it, I can get a free gift, and I can get one of the following: a Bluetooth speaker to the value of £35, a 4K Amazon Fire Stick, a 100-inch projector screen, or a tripod for this. I was like, well, all right,
okay. So the screen or the 4K stick would be my two options.
I think I'll have the screen because I've already got 4K sticks. I think I'll have a screen here, and then this alcove here is just dead space. I might just have it mounted up there because I've got power up there, and just have it pushing screen here, just so that when I'm working in here, I've got something to watch. Because the neighbours, you know, they want to watch porn, but I don't think his missus lets him. So if I put it on a big 100-inch screen.
You're thinking of your neighbors. Okay, so hey, let me get back to we'll get back to the shield.
Did you notice that they've changed the design of the shield, where the traditional shield was a square, almost like the size of a VHS player or a Bluetooth a Blu-ray player? They've changed it now to a circular, almost like a cigar case.
That was the low end one. All right, because they released the video. They released a picture of two, and one was, like you said, it was about this bit. Well, actually, it was about the size of the remote. They're going to change the remote. Yeah. About the size of the remote. It looked like a little cylinder, to me, I've seen like a. Well, it kind of looked like this. Is what it looked like. That's what it looked like. You had one a micro USB port in it. It had 8 gigs of hardware of storage space. Same processor that's in the big one that they're going to release, which it's going to have they report it 25% more, 25% more power or performance above the 2015-17 Nvidia Shield. So it's going to give you 25% better performance, which it's not lacking already. So it's going to be 25% more. The price tag is, they said, a $199, which is $10 more than what right now if you get the model, the 2017 model. So it's $10 more. If you get the one that looks like this that O'Neill was talking about, it's going to be $50 cheaper. So would you get an Nvidia Shield that's this big, that the only plus to this is that you could just hide it behind your TV, and then.
Well, that was one of my concerning points, and I've got 2 points. The first one is where do you put it, right?
Right.
And you're not always going to have the space behind the TV anyway, and plus the TV behind is very hot. But not only that, something of that size is not going to have great cooling, which means it's more likely to overheat or have a very similar option. Do you remember Xboxes used to get really hot and they had to they desoldered? You had to then wrap them up and heat them up so that they would solder back together.
Yep. For the
going to happen?
fan. I don't know. I mean, you got to think Nvidia has probably spent some money. Now they do say that the plus of this type of size is you could hide it, and they'll probably have like a little TV thing that hooks to it, and you can probably hook it in the back of your TV.
Measurements are 6.5 inches wide by 1.5 tall, because the Newegg also dropped it as well.
Yes. Yeah.
It comes with a standard figure of 8 kettle power plug. It's even got Ethernet as well, which is great.
Yep.
Micro SD, HDMI, and then the remote is this new remote.
Yeah.
It's like a triangle, sort of triangle shape in a long tube.
So let me hold on a second.
Sure. Yeah, can you show?
I'm not super stoked. Not to be negative about it. I think that the smaller one at a price tag of $150, to me is a bit high. $150, you get half the storage. You're talking 8 gigs of storage, so you're not going to be able to store anything really on it. It's just going to be a streaming device. Are you willing to pay $150 for that? I don't think. So let's see. Leaked information. Okay, so let me share my screen here, folks, for people that weren't paying attention and you don't get all the alerts that I get from all the different places, because this was a buzz in all the groups. And so let's see. Let me put on this one and we'll go here. All right. So this would be the new full Shield. This would be the 16 gig. Looks very similar to the older model. I mean, looks identical to me. A new remote. You can see it actually has. Netflix must have gave some money for this, because look at, they got their own button. So that makes me think that Netflix gave a little cash to get that. You actually have the volume and up, whereas it had a slide on my remote. Has like there's no button. It's just you run your finger up and down it. So that is a new design. And then, it's kind of a triangular shape. It's not flat like the Nvidia Shield now. Let's see if they had the image of. No, hold on a second.
If you go to the Verve, there's at the top.
There, right there. There it is.
Yeah, that's the one I'm looking at.
Yeah, this is the other one. Same remote, but you see, like we were talking about, a cylinder shape. Like he said, 6 inches, 6.5 inches long. Yeah. Process. I mean, you're going to have, the quality is going to be, and I'm shocked that it's got Ethernet port. That surprises me, but again, giving you the higher end processor that's going to be in the Pro model. They're going to have the same processor as the Pro model.
Yeah, so they've revamped the Tegra. Don't know what they've done to it, but I'm guessing that they've made some changes. I mean, you'd have to expect that they would make some changes and not just change the form factor.
Yeah, and the big thing that people, like for people with 4K and stuff, the Dolby Vision, Dolby Atmos has been upgraded or added to it, and listed at $199. Wait. No, the tube one. The tube one was going to be $150. This is Canadian up here. So $150. Pro expected to sell for $200.
So in the UK, we will pay the same price pound for dollar. We won't get that any cheaper. We'll end up paying £150 instead of $150. Whereas if you look at the conversion rate, if we paid in dollars, it would be so much cheaper.
Yeah, well, it costs a lot of money to send it over the water. That's a long ways. But yeah, but same. Look at 16 gigs of hard drive space, 3 gigs of RAM, which is in the one already. So to me, all right, what I believe is going to happen is what I think is going to happen is Thanksgiving's going to come, Black Friday. I believe the 2017 Nvidia Shield will drop price, a lot like the it did last year. And I think that it's going to drop price to try to flush out that inventory. So you're looking at, let's say, that 125, 130, 140 US to get rid of that, to get ready for this one that's going to be 199. Would I pay the extra to get the extra 25% boost in performance? I don't know. That's a struggle for me. It does. The other thing I see Chip ask about internal storage. It does have two USB 2 ports
and a micro SD as well.
And and a micro. So it did have that. It does have it in there. Well, Ed B says, I didn't even look up the remote. Ed B says that the uses 2 AA batteries, which, if anybody that has the 2017, the biggest complaint that those guys have is the battery life in the remotes, that they just don't last. I have my 2015 remote, which that's one thing about the Shield remote. I mean, you can see, look at that Shield remote. I mean, it is paper thin, smooth. To me, I love the feel of it. Very simple, very few buttons. In the volume, this is the volume. Just to run your finger up, you go up and it's up, go down. You can't see the TV, but up, down. So they changed up some of that stuff. The thing that mine was rechargeable. I could plug up a USB or micro USB and it would charge. And so I had an internal battery that charged. The new one looks almost identical. A little bit of a different background, different back. It doesn't feel as brushed, doesn't feel as smooth. Identical remote other than that, and it has the batteries. That has like a little watch battery that goes inside there. So that's the downside. And lots of people complain that these battery life sucks. They just said, I know Charles, he's like, it lasts me 2 months, but then I read reports, they're saying you got to be careful, don't put crappy batteries in these. So
shouldn't put batteries in anything at the end of the day, they're crap for a reason.
Yeah, I don't know. So that's the big. So that is major news. I see Tevers. I will send a message to Tevers. I'll let him join in here. Hold on a second, folks.
I think you're right in saying that Black Friday is going to bring out. There's going to be loads of discounted items. You're going to get a discount on the Shield, definitely. But it makes business sense for them to reduce it for Black Friday to then bring in new stock. Amazon sticks will go cheap. Obviously, that always happens. And then once that's done, I don't know what's next, what's coming next. There's no real sort of talk of any new devices that are worth mentioning apart from the Shield. So, I mean, I'd like one, but I don't have a requirement. I don't have a need for it. I'm okay with the Fire Stick, and I think they're fine. I know I'm probably going to get grief for saying that, but I quite like the 4K Fire Stick. It works.
Yeah, the 4K Fire Stick for what it is good. For what it is, what you get, I think bang for the buck. I think that's the best device for the best bang for the buck. But I don't want to drive around in a Ford Focus. I'd rather drive around in a Lamborghini. So I'm gonna jump in the Lamborghini, my Nvidia Shield. So that's the difference.
Getting into a Lamborghini, by the way. I'm like 6 foot tall and fucking wide. I ain't getting into no Lambo.
I get in a Lambo, no problem. I have no problem getting in that. So,
but I think I think they're decent. The only downside, obviously, to the Amazon sticks is that you are reliant on Amazon, who power the software. If they want to remove something or they want to impose a restriction, can very quickly and very easily. And
there's been lots of rumors of that over the last 4 years, 3 years. There's rumor of that.
There was a rumor a couple of months ago that there was a package that appeared in the Amazon Fire OS, which it was like a Tor browser. No one was really sure what it was because they couldn't appear in the Amazon. So there's always things like that, and for people that are not technically minded that want to use it and then they want to install third-party add-ons, they've then got to go through, a bit of a song and a dance to get things going.
Yep.
Enable third-party support and then go and install downloader and then go to a URL to install it. It gets a bit complicated.
It's a little more work.
Android devices have just got the Google Play Store. You can install.
Nvidia Shield has the Google Play Store.
Exactly. So, for ease of use, a Shield is just fantastic.
It is, and it does well. So, it's all. I mean, I have a 4K. I've had some 4K sticks and fixed them for people, and device works well for what it does. Again, for simplicity, if you got somebody that's tight on a budget, or you're a grandma, grandpa, and they're going to want just a handful, you can. Netflix works at 100% on there. Netflix works 100% on the Nvidia Shield. That works on any devices that are not jailbroken or rooted or any kind of modifications to the OS. That's when Netflix downgrades the ability when you can root or jailbreak or you do something to the OS on some of these devices, because what they're worried about is they're worried about you taking that content and recording it and doing something else with it. So Netflix has given a lot of material and a lot of shows and movies with they're guaranteeing to these media companies that we can protect your content, that it's not going to get out from us. So I think that's why you see when they're a device that's rooted, like that Android box you were showing earlier, it doesn't get the full Netflix experience. Tvers, hey, thanks for jumping. I had to mute you for a second because we were getting feedback from here. But that's that. Sometimes with microphones, it does it. All right, I'll get Kevin. Kevin's asking on my last video. It says the Saren add-on you said was your number 2 add-on. What was your number 1 add-on? My number 1 add-on, if I'm just wanting to watch stuff, and that's the Real Debrid mod, and I'm going to show that. I did a video on it. Actually, I did a video on the Real Debrid tips and tricks. I did one about a month ago, maybe a few weeks ago, volume 2, which showed how to add items to my my lists on Real Debrid and watch it. That was my favorite because then I can pick exactly the quality and the link that I want, and I put it in Real Debrid and watch it. So that's my number 1. Then I have Saren, and then I also have the fork of Destiny that I use that a lot. That's the one that if you watched the video with me and Blue, we showed you how to fork it, how to fork that add-on. We showed people how to do it, and it's a private add-on. I don't have it out there for anybody, but that's out there. Tvers is your mic. Let me see if you're fixed. Let me see if I hear myself. Yeah, I'm not hearing myself. And I see Lex has joined. Let's see if Lex, if he's gotten rid of his feedback problem. Okay, test.
Is that better?
Booyah! All right.
Yeah,
Lex. All right, we got you in there. Hey, one other subject before we get to you two guys. One other subject, and I have this at the top of my list. So we talk Nvidia Shield. Watch for that. They say pre-orders are going to be October 27th is what the rumor is. So kind of watch for that. For ordering Nvidia Shield, if that's what you're wanting to do. That'll be probably Newegg, and Amazon will be your biggest places to get it. And that is the Puffin browser. And I don't know if any of you guys use the Puffin browser. Puffin browser is a browser that a lot of Android users use. It works very well with a remote, so you're able to scroll through things. You can download things. Well, a lot of people started complaining about the download feature was broke. Well, come to find out, Puffin said that Google has told them, and basically the rules for any Android TV OSs cannot have any apps that allow downloading of from places outside of the Google Play Store. So the Puffin browser allowed you to punch in any URL, and you could go through it and then click it, link, and then you could download it through their browser, and then you could install it. So Google said, no, we're not allowing that. So they told Puffin to remove that feature from their browser, and if they didn't, they would be removed from the Google Play Store. So any of you guys any of the users that are Puffin browser users, and it's such a weird name, Puffin browser, if you were using the Puffin browser, you are not going to be able to download. And that, again, that was the ease of use. If you wanted to download something. So that was some big news. So if you're people that are into that, and that was not Puffin's fault, that was they wrote in the thing, it said it was, I don't want to say ordered, but Google informed them that they had to remove that feature or they would be removed from the Google Play Store.
Which is Google just throwing their weight around.
Well, yeah, I mean, you can't be in our store if you have some features that we don't like. We're not going to put you in our store. Now, doesn't mean you're gone from the internet, but again, to install something outside of the Google Play Store tends to be a little bit more work, and most users can't do it. Most people, if they have an Android device, side loading, that's what we call it when you install something outside of the Google Play Store, you're side loading. Most people can't do it, and that's why then.
There's a big issue with that, though, right? So Google are throwing their weight around because of the way that the downloads were working. But yet, if you go through the Google Play Store, there are so many fake apps installed there that are able to suck up your data, that they've got permissions that are not needed. I really think the only reason Google are involved in that is because of how popular it became. They should probably focus more on getting rid of the apps in the App Store that are actually really dangerous, as opposed to something that isn't dangerous.
Wow.
Well, that's just Google throwing their weight around. But because it's their store, they can do it. And people with Huawei phones, I'm pretty sure there's still a case ongoing at the moment where Huawei have lost their Google license. So
part of that was the U.S. government too. Remember that?
Yeah. So they've lost the ability to have the Google Play Store on new devices. I'm not sure when that gets implemented, but because the P30 came out with Google on there, but there are alternatives. There are alternatives to the Google Play Store, but they don't have as much content, and certainly there's no verification. Whereas when you submit something to the Google Play Store, you are actually having your app verified, but sometimes they sneak through. As I said, there's apps on there that shouldn't be on there, but they are.
It's a matter of time. A matter of time before a lot of those add-ons get caught. We've seen add-ons that or APKs that have been removed from the Google Play Store when Google Play said, "Oh, wait a minute. No, you're not. You're trying to get away with something, streaming and stuff." But hey, T-Verse, what's up? I haven't seen you in I can't even remember. I've talked to you probably almost a year ago, Mr. You dropped out of the scene.
I got busy.
Yeah.
Bumblebee and I did some more traveling, and then I opened up a brick and mortar store, and that's been keeping me busy. So, but the huge advantage about the brick and mortar store is that I get to test a lot of boxes.
Okay.
The nice thing is that I've actually had companies send me boxes to test.
Oh.
And some of the boxes that I've tested, I like. Some of the boxes I didn't. But what really got me interested on your last call last week,
Yep.
we were talking about boxes. And now the Nvidia Shield is the Cadillac of Android boxes.
Right.
Nothing will beat that. There's no doubt in that. And just to let you know, I don't have any doubt there shouldn't be any heating problems with the stick version of it.
I think it'll be all right.
The H96 and the Fire Stick themselves, they're basically the same design. Never had an overheating issue with that.
Yeah,
but he's got a point. That's the hard part of the TV.
In such a small form factor that I thought that maybe they'll have heating issues, because the Fire Sticks do get hot, but they don't have any problems.
Yeah. Remember the Generation 1, you could almost cook an egg on that damn thing.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
Generation 1, you could put an egg on that mug and it was just on fire. You're thinking, how is it not catching my TV on fire?
But what I wanted to talk about was, so MeCool, which is an Android box company, right? Do we have a MeCool? See, which model number is that? Flip it over.
KM9.
KM9.
Okay, is that the ATV version?
Android TV.
Yeah.
Oh, it is. See, What do you think about that, Neil?
Hate it. Netflix doesn't work.
Hey, what?
Netflix doesn't work.
No, and you want to know this is? I'm going to tell you what happened. Okay, so Netflix banned it. The box has everything. The L1, like so, everything for DRM is what everything that Netflix wanted, and then they banned them. And if you go into the Android configuration files and change, you know, that one particular file you need to rewrite, you need a thing to rewrite. If you change the Miku word in there to Nvidia, it'll work.
The prop find file.
So basically,
in the prop file,
they blacklisted it. They blacklisted it. Like, you remember back in the day when they used to blacklist add-ons, could blacklist builds and stuff like that. I remember people's builds or add-ons got blacklisted by just putting it in a line. So you're saying basically just change that line of code, call it something else,
You
and
have to
blacklist.
call it an Nvidia, and then
But it's root. The box is rooted, right?
No.
No,
those aren't rooted.
those are Android TV boxes. They're Google certified, which means they cannot be rooted.
Okay.
How do you change the prop find file?
Oh, I forget which program I used.
I'll find something.
Yeah, it did work though. I tried it. But so you've got the KM9 Pro Deluxe, which is the 4 gig box, right? Which is a beautiful box. It's a little higher in price, still cheaper than the Nvidia Shield, but it's friggin' quick as shit. And Nvidia is only running Android 8. That one has Android 9.
Yeah, let me
That's one big point. But what Miku did in May was they brought out a 2 gig box. And if you go on Amazon, you're going to find that 2 gig box for $70. That was $70 Canadian, so probably 50 American. And honestly,
the order now, so I can have a look and see.
the only difference between the Pro Deluxe and the 4 gig and the 2 gig, speed-wise, like when you put them up on two TVs right side by side, the only difference that you're ever going to see the difference in speed is when you're installing something. On the Deluxe, the install takes 2 or 3 seconds, just goes. On the Classic,
according to my order,
yeah,
this is 8.1 with 4 gig of RAM, 32 gig ROM, with an S905X2 quad-core processor. How much?
it's the 95X2.
Yeah,
how
that's
much are you these going for?
All mine are Android 9.
How much are these going for in the States?
See all those blue boxes back there?
Yeah.
Those are all KM9 Pro Classics. They're all running Android 9.
This cost me £39. It was cheap as hell, but my only concern with it, as I say, was the fact that I can't run the Netflix. The Netflix is installed, and it will run, but it's a really horrible app that doesn't allow me to do a search. It doesn't allow me to browse properly because I do use Netflix a lot, and I will run.
Netflix is a great thing.
Yeah, I'll run my VPN on here, and I'll VPN out to the States, and then I'll use my VPN in the States to do streaming, and I'll watch content on the Netflix one in the States because Netflix in the States is better than ours. What's that box? Show me that one.
And for just while you're opening that box, Keevers, so for like I've got Facebook people that probably don't know a lot of what we're talking about. So the reason why he uses a VPN and he's in the UK is because the UK only has allowed certain content for Netflix. They geo-region certain things. So a lot of UK people will use a VPN, which basically pretends that they're in the US. They use an IP address for the US. And he's able to watch all the content that the U.S. people can watch in England. And sometimes the U.K. is also the U.K. You have to do that sometimes with because they geo-block or they block certain websites. But this is where Netflix doesn't allow the U.K. to have everything. So he's
there's like I think one of the bigger films on there, like as silly as it sounds, was Thor Ragnarok. It's not on the Netflix, but it is on the American one. Yeah. So I mean, I do the same on my phone.
It's probably because Sky or BT or somebody like that already has rights to it in the UK.
It's the same in Canada.
Yeah.
In Canada, we get about 1/4 of what the Americans get. Yeah. That's it.
Some of the European ones, though, like Germany's Netflix has got quite a bit of content on there.
Is
So
my
VPN provider has, if I bring up my VPN, it has a list of very good services just for streaming. So these are streaming friendly different countries that I can use, and they'll be for different things. So for example, we can see United States, which is this particular entry point will be good for HBO. It won't be as good for Netflix, but I can use a Netflix one. Then there's Germany for Netflix DE, France for Netflix FR. I've got Fox Sport for Brazil. And this works for me. And there's Canada as well. I've got Canada YouTube. Don't have a Netflix for Canada though.
Well, we probably don't want it if they're only getting a quarter of what the U.S. has. You watch what the U.S. has. All right, so hey, Tevers, people are interested in this fix that you're talking about.
What I like about these boxes, this was the biggest thing that I fell in love with. This is a Bluetooth remote.
Oh,
You do have the older box. That's why you paid less. This is the newer boxes. The KM9 Pro Deluxe is the same box you have, but it's running true Android TV. The same operating system on the Nvidia Shield.
Right, okay.
The Pro Deluxe and the Pro Deluxe Classic, or Pro Classic, like this one, they're running Android TV, not Android. They come with Bluetooth remote. They come with Bluetooth built in. The difference between the KM9 Pro and Deluxe and the Classic, 4 gigs of RAM on the Deluxe, 2 gig on the Classic, and then the Classic has 2.4 for Wi-Fi only, and the Deluxe has 2.4 in the 5.
I can get one tomorrow by Amazon for £69.
The Deluxe or the Classic?
Well, it's claiming it's the Classic, the Deluxe, because it's got 4 gig of RAM, 32 gig storage, voice remote control. It's got the Google Assist button on the remote as well, with the dual band Wi-Fi.
As long as when you're looking at the picture, Neil, that this is the remote you see. Let me take it out of the bag. That's when you're looking on Amazon, you got to be really careful. Like what you're looking for is the remote. When you're looking, it looks like this.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. Let me show you.
So there's a 4 gig box and a 2 gig box on Amazon. And honestly, buddy, I tried this with my Shield side by side. I couldn't see a difference in speed.
There you go.
Yep, that one.
So 80 pounds.
But I've got a £10 voucher that I can apply.
Oh, okay. 70 pounds.
And you can see my name and address. That's terrible. Sorry.
You're gone.
And I honestly think when you benchmark them, okay, so the Shields are designed for gaming. These boxes will game really nice too. I played Asphalt on mine, no problem. And on the 2 gig box, I mean, not the 4 gig. Plays perfect. Now, when I benchmark them, the Shield is a bit faster. I'm not going to argue that. But for the common user, you're not going to notice a difference in speed. As a matter of fact, I found this faster than the Shield.
So, all right. So, what one of the questions in here about again is that on basically that box has been blacklisted from Netflix. Netflix has blacklisted them.
Yep.
And what you're saying is that you can run some programs and go in and edit the name of the box, basically in the programming of the box where it has what brand it is. You just change the name of that, and then it's unblacklisted.
Yep, that's what I did. I changed the prop file and it changed it to NVIDIA, and all of a sudden Netflix worked.
Yes, and if you use ADB, you could pull it on ADB and push it back, and then reboot, and it will fix it for you. And you don't have to root the device to do it. You just need ADB shell.
Yep.
So pull the build.prop file and then tweak the line that says what the device is. Send it back. Cool.
That's it. I mean, that's a neat thing, especially if you're being blacklisted from Netflix, because they don't want. Netflix is promoting certain devices because they trust certain devices more than others. I mean, Amazon and your Roku and your Nvidia, they trust. But I think a lot of these other companies, they don't trust. So basically, you're just changing the name of the box in the script, and it's thinking that it's a different type of box, so it doesn't get the black flag.
Yeah, I give it time. The problem is MeCool. I mean, MeCool's been around, but I mean, admit they were bad boys at one time because they ripped off Android. They're doing that, and they have to earn their name back. But eventually, I don't see that. Eventually they're probably going to gain the trust of Netflix, because to be able to get Android TV and run true Android Google Home in the system, that you have to be certified with Google, and you get vetted from Google. So, like Google did tell Netflix that they okayed the company, but it's going to take time, I think. Yeah.
Well, there's so much worry, and like you said, with the DRM and verifying that that it's safe. And these companies, like I said, we with the pirating, and they're worrying about their content. These companies are being careful about what they do and how they get it out there, and that. So that's interesting. That's an awesome thing. I don't have a MeCool box, so I can't, and I probably won't buy a MeCool box just to test it, because then I have to sell it. And, yeah, I'll let O'Neill do it. You'll do it.
I'll do it.
You'll honestly like the difference between the K9 you have now and the KM9 you order. You're gonna like the difference. Seriously,
I've just ordered it. I've just pressed order.
Android TV version 8 really got a lot faster than Android TV 7. And on a 2 gig box, it's a huge difference. Like between any other Android and Android TV, or they're running Android 9 or Android 8 of Android TV, they're smooth. Holy crap, they're fast. So
I need to stop spending money.
It is the box. Like I get people in here every day buying boxes off me. I show them what an X96 Mini is in comparison to the KM9s, and everybody walks out with a KM9. Because Bluetooth remote, that was huge.
That major.
If I go into Morph TV or Black Panther, if I go into voice search in there, voice works in there. I can search for The Godfather without having to type it in.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You're doing what I did years ago, but we had, back in those days, we had the MX boxes, and I had a bricks and mortar store. People will remember Android TV boxes.co.uk. I had that, and we had bricks and mortar, and we had people coming in, but we had really bad boxes. They were just, because that's just what the tech was at the time.
Yeah,
now the tech has evolved so much better that it's just better. But obviously you have to keep yourself whiter than white, as you know, because people are shit.
All right. Let's see. I'm looking at. I like to say hi to all this. I posted over there, Ebony and DJ. A lot of people have jumped in the chat on the side. People that are on Facebook, I'm simultaneously sending this between Facebook and YouTube. It's going to both places. So sometimes when I post questions and I post things, let's see, like I have people over here talking questions, and so you may see me answering. Who am I hearing? Okay. I was like, I'm hearing myself again. You can, in the YouTube, we're able to see questions. So sometimes you'll hear me answering questions that people post over here. So, all right. So you got your own brick and mortar store. So you say the MeCool is an awesome device. What would be the second rated one that you would, for you, that since you deal in so many of these Android boxes, and again, for the people that are on my Facebook that may not, these are boxes that are used for streaming content on the internet. You're hooked it to your TV, and for a lot of cord cutters, almost every cord cutter I know has some type of Android box. It's just easy to use. So go ahead, Tevers.
It runs everything that your regular Android box, and Kodi runs on this beautifully. You can still use your Kodi. The voice works in Kodi for whatever program that uses voice in Kodi, but it works. I just the best box that I recommend is the KM9 Pro Classic. It's cheaper than the Pro Deluxe, but it overall is just as fast. For the price, that's the way to go. And this is so Google came out in January and said, look at, up until now, all there was Sony TVs, the Show Me My box, the Jetstream, and the Nvidia Shield that was running Android TV. And in January, Google said in an I/O, we're going to open the market. Okay, and I didn't know what they meant by opening the market when I was watching the I/O. But 2 months later, I get a message from MeCool saying we're officially running Android TV, and I'm like, really? Because I don't like the My Box. It's so limited. You can only do so much with that sucker, and I never wanted to pay for another Shield. That's too expensive. So when they told me, like when these boxes first came out, they were about $50 more than now, and but this is the way Android's going to go. As long as Google opened up the market for manufacturers to use this, because this operating system is 10 times more user friendly than Android is. Well, anybody who's run a Shield, they know that.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the way I see the market going, and you're going to see more manufacturers coming out certified soon. But I mean, TV wise, Insignia, they're going to be running Android TV shortly too as well. There was a big list of different TV companies that are switching. Philips is switching. RCA is switching.
Because most of them are running their own. It's like you'll have apps. They'll say Android TV, but it's really not Android TV. They'll just have you can install some apps and stuff like that on most devices, on most TVs now.
Hey, a lot of the cord cutting programs like Cyberflix, Cinema HD, they're all designed. They'll work off the Android TV box. You don't have to sideload them.
Yeah.
And-
A lot of them are directly. You can go again, but then you wonder, how do you sideload them, because they're not in the Google Play Store. You'd have to go through a browser to be able to get it.
Actually, I love the browser that you can put on this box. It's called TV Web OS, and it uses voice. You can search Google Chrome with voice like you do on your phone.
TV Web OS.
TV Web OS.
Okay, that's the browser.
Yeah, well, because there's no mouse function on that remote, right? So if you use TV Web OS or TV Web, right? It actually gives you a mouse function in the program. You search for it, and then you can use the mouse to click around.
Yeah, turn on or off. Hey, someone asked about the H96 Max. They had a little bit of buzz, and then I know that there for a while they had an OS issue. I remember their OS was, people were having to update it. So Mr. Butler asked, have you messed with any of the H96 Max?
Here's my problem with the H96s. It's like the MXQ boxes. Like, seriously, there's about 200 different manufacturers that are making the H96 box. There's no one particular one. And some of the manufacturers' boxes are built really well and never have an issue with it. But you're going to get H96 boxes that have S900 series chipsets. You're going to get some that have all winners. You're going to get some with RKs. And picking which one is good, I don't like. So the H96s that I've tried with the all winners, don't buy it. Piece of craps. The RK ones, get picky. Buy a higher end RK one. But again, it really depends on who made it. Okay?
Yeah.
I'd love to tell you that an H96 Max is made from the same one and that it'll have identical and hardware in each one, but they don't. The Wi-Fi chipset will be different in this one from that one.
Remember the T95? Remember the T95? They did the same thing. I was buying T95 Sunveils, and I had no issue. But then other people were buying these T95s. Looks the exact same. Little octagon box with the light around it. It looks exactly the same, but a different manufacturer, different parts inside it. And most users are like, well, I went on Amazon, I can get it for $40. Well, but it's not exactly the same as what that I'm saying that I'm getting that's costing me, $60. It's not the same.
Yep. So and that's another thing I like about MeCool. If they put their name on that box, it's a MeCool box. Nobody else made it.
All right, you got AA's asking about the Minix.
I used to love Minix boxes. They were great. I used to do back in the day. I used to be one of the UK official partners and sellers of Minix boxes, and I did all the UK support for them through Paratech. There's only one distributor in the UK, which was Paratech for Minix, and I had loads, and I did all the support for them in the UK. They were great devices. the problem I had with them was that the interface was it was green, it was horrible, and it took a very long time to get any updates to them. They then pushed a Windows x86 box as well, which ran Windows 8.1, which wasn't great. And it had a free upgrade to Windows 10. In terms of the box size, it was okay. But some of the new Minix devices, I don't think that they've had any sort of real updates to them. I think, you look at like the Z series, the Minix Neos, or the U9Hs, they all look the same, and it's just the chipsets that are inside. The boxes are all still green and black, and the user interface is the same. It's a bit bland. And they had a custom version of Kodi installed, and I don't know why they had that version installed. I could never get the right information out of them. But it seems that they're also now going on to different things. So Minix were originally just focusing on boxes. They're now focusing on a few other things. But the main box at the time was the Z. God, now I'm remembering. This is going back years now. I can't remember. I remember the X7, the X5. And then there was the Z64, I think it was. It's been so long since I've touched that.
Look at it's now we've become the questions of this box. How's this box? How's this box? And hey, Lex, we're gonna get to you in just a minute. I really am.
Box that you can buy.
No,
The box that you like. There you go.
We don't need a box.
Look at that! Look, he has a Minix device.
Yeah.
I got a Magaika. Which don't ever buy a Magaika. Those are friggin' crap ass boxes. See, Neil, I liked the Minix when Minix was like the popular because they're very well built boxes.
They are very well, but the OS was terrible.
That I agreed on. And even the newer ones, like I've tried some of the newer ones. Like I have customers bring them in. I agree with you. They really haven't done much to their OS. It's still kind of sad. You get a really, really nice box and a crappy software.
Yeah.
So,
but they promised OTA updates, so they were really good at pushing updates remotely, but the frequency of updates was just terrible.
Yep.
The difference between for viewers, Minix versus some of the cheaper boxes was that Minix, like Tiva said, they applied themselves to building a really nice device. Yep. They put the time and effort into making good packaging and a good user experience. The user experience hasn't kept up to date with what's going on in the marketplace at the moment. But one of the other key features that they delivered was they had a really simple to use remote control. They also had a remote control that would switch and have a keyboard on the back as well, which is the Minix Neo U1, I think it was. And they also pushed over-the-air updates. So like your PC or your tablet will get an update from the manufacturer saying, "Oh, install this package, there's a new version." Minix did the same thing, but it just took a while to do it. So your cheaper boxes, anyone could make them. If you go on somewhere like AliExpress or Banggood or DHgate and do a search for an Android box, you'll see the same box, but come from about 20 different sellers because 20 different manufacturers would make it. Magica were another one. They were a great device. They were one of the first 4K Android devices back in 2014, 2015. They came out with a very good 4K device.
But wasn't that one where you have to run a special OS because
Again, it came with
Kodi,
its own version.
Kodi 17 wouldn't install?
Yeah, it was the Magica version. So older Android devices couldn't run Kodi 17. So Android 4 had limitations. So there was a Magica version, which was a hacked version of Kodi 17, which would run on version 4 of Android.
And a lot of these, when you said about the over-the-air, and again, we go, if we're talking about boxes, with a lot of these boxes, and I'll use the T95Z, it'll have an update. And like O'Neill says, there's an update feature. And every one of these boxes will say the update. 95%, 97% of them boxes, when you click this says an update, just says, "Oh, can't reach any update," because there is no updates unless you download the software, you put it on a flash drive, you put it in the box. Hopefully you got the exact correct version that you need for your box, because you could possibly ruin your box if you're installing the wrong version. Whereas some of the better companies over the air, like you said, you can click it and it will update, like my Nvidia Shield or the Amazon Fire Stick, or like you said, the MeCool is actually giving you those updates. Wasn't it that, didn't I see a video and someone mentioned that B-Link that GT King? If I'm not mistaken, that was the one that had more bells and whistles on that thing than I've ever seen. I watched a video, a guy doing it, and it was, all right, there's rooted devices. We've seen it where you can tweak a whole bunch of stuff. This was so rooted, you could adjust every single, it had settings for every single thing you could change. You could change so many things. It was mind-boggling. I wanted one until I saw that it was 125 US. And then I said, $125 for a box that I just want to play with? No. I'll $125. That box can do all that. And he did a comparison between the Shield, and again, it was half or less than half the speed of the Shield. It was good, better than all the other Android boxes, but still half with the Shield. And I'm like, $125. But it had, you could adjust, turn off the DMR or turn it on with a simple switch. Awesome looking box from the video that I saw.
Oh, yeah, I mean, the remote control on them, they look phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just
it looked Bluetooth to me, and it looked like it was, wasn't it, didn't it have the air mouse on it, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah, so here you go.
Yeah.
I'll just put a picture up now. So this had some little unique sort of, you know, CNC style bezeling going on and etch whatever you want to call it. And then this phenomenal looking mouse, which looks like it would
2.4 mouse.
That's
Sorry?
what? What'd you say, Tevers?
That's a wireless 2.4 mouse.
All right.
Piece of crap.
Oh, is that
it
a
works.
piece?
It's better than an IR remote by far. You want to know what the thing that I love about this the GT King box the most? What chipset is it running?
I don't know.
It's
it's got to be the 912?
The 922.
922.
922X, yeah.
I don't see that in any boxes.
No, that's the only box on the market so far that I know of anyway that's running the 922. Okay, so the box that's in the KM9, the 905X2, is actually performs better than the 912 does.
Yeah, I saw some benchmarks where they said that it ran a little bit better than the 912 on some things, and then some things it said that it was.
But on this 922 chipset, holy crap, that got me a hard on. That thing is amazing. I'm just saying that.
But then you're still going, to me, when I look at it and I'm thinking, is it a value for me? Then it's 100. Well, for me, it was $125 when I went to Amazon. Again, is it worth it? I mean, 125. If I wait until Black Friday, I'm gonna get a Shield for almost that. You know.
But more Android boxes eventually are going to come out with this.
Yeah.
And it would be kind of news. Like I actually speak to the company that own MeCool, and they've talked about how they're looking at running an S922 on one of their KM series.
Okay.
So to add that to an Android TV box, like not an Android, but an Android TV box with that chipset?
Yeah, but they wouldn't get the permission to do it if they give all that rooted features that
No, not the
Google.
operating. We're just talking the chipset.
Oh,
like
okay. Okay.
Put that CPU in a KM9 box, and wow, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, we got that. All right. So I think we answered all of the. All right. Go ahead, Tevers.
I'm going to squeeze off because I've got. It's getting late here, so thanks very much, guys, and I'll see you all soon.
Wait, and one last thing for O'Neill. O'Neill. So, spankbank.cf.
Spankbank.cf, and you can install just for him. Let's be friends.
And
I am working on FCK, which is my new one.
Down the road, it's coming.
And Herpes will be in there as well.
Oh no, you're not going to release that one. He's been talking about. He's talked about that one for 2 years, folks. So don't believe that. He's keeping herpes for himself.
I want herpes.
Yeah, so spankbank.cf, add it as a source in Kodi. You can install my repo, and then you can install a couple of those add-ons. Also, if you want to stick 2 fingers up at Husham, you can use the News 12 free add-on instead of paying him money for it. So yeah, you know.
Is that a HTTPS or an HTTP?
HTTP, HTTPS isn't supported on older devices.
Okay,
so.
I was because I'm gonna post it in here for some of the so that the people can use a .cf and there. That would be for his add-ons, and for people that are on Kodi that are on my Facebook that don't know that these are plugins that go in the Kodi OS, and he's created certain ones, and that is the URL for installing some of those devices. You can watch some of my videos or do Google search, and you can find out how to install stuff. But that's cool. That's good. Good to know. Yeah,
fine. Leave us. I'm gonna miss you, man.
I'm going to miss you too, but it's 11:15 and I've got parties this weekend to go to for 4-year-old kids. I really don't want to go to them.
We're all going to his house this weekend, by the way.
It's not at my house. No, so tomorrow my daughter's been invited because I have kids now, Tivas. This is weird, right?
Terrible.
I don't know who allowed me to have children, but someone did. My daughter is going to a birthday party tomorrow, so there's going to be about 34-year-olds running around, which I'm really not happy about. I'm going to have to put my noise cancelling headphones on. And then on Sunday, we're actually having a birthday party for my daughter, who is 4 at the end of the month. So there's going to be 20 kids running around at a soft play area, which is going to be full of more kids. I'm really not looking forward to it. I wanted to go out tomorrow and go and spend a load of money on a new radio controlled car. I'm not allowed to now because I've got to go.
Wow.
But well, I'm getting text messages from my wife saying, "Where are you? You should be in bed by now." Don't get married, everyone. Don't do it. It's not right.
It's a trap.
It's a trap.
So,
don't get married.
All right, O'Neill. Talk to you later, bro.
See you later, man. If you need me, just give me a shout. You know where I am.
Yep. I know where to find you. Okay, Mr. Tevers, what you said you had one finished thing you had to finish?
Oh, somebody asked about updates with the Me Cools on the Android TV. If you haven't learned by now, when it comes to Android TV, updates for almost all. Okay, so the software itself, the OS, is maintained through Google. Just to let you know that the only firmware upgrades that you get from the manufacturer are for device, like for the settings for the devices, like the hardware inside. But all the software is done through Google.
Okay.
So that's the beauty of it. Don't get me wrong. I've been recommending MeCool for about 3 years because they've always been pretty good at doing the firmware updates. So.
Okay. Well, that'd be a box for some of the people that may want to check that out.
Yeah.
So it's an option. Again, I don't tell people what you got to buy. I'll give you the pros and cons to some of these devices. And I've suggested to numerous people if Amazon's running like they are right now a $25 savings on a Fire Stick, a 4K Fire Stick, that's $25. You can't beat it for what you get. It is a little bit harder to install stuff, but not impossible. Just a little harder. Is that how you plug in all your boxes?
No,
or you can have multiple into the TV.
Amazon Fire Stick. This goes into the power cord where you plug in your USB. The power goes into this one, and that's how many USBs I get to plug into my Fire Stick.
Oh, shoot.
That's how I program them.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
I mean,
I do it old school. One at a time, which I don't have that many to do. So if I do one, I've got the 20 minutes or 30 minutes to screw around with one because it's just me messing with it.
Oh, I love it. Well, I mean, here I've got. So I have a first-gen Firebox right here.
Oh, yeah, those are not bad. Those are actually pretty good boxes.
The only problem is the USB on here doesn't work anymore.
Oh.
So I had to do it old school.
Yeah.
And the remote going back and forth, and I'm like, I'm going to go to sleep now.
Yeah, you had to turn on the debugging and all that, yeah.
Yep.
So, all right. So let me see. Let's, I've got Mr. Lex in here, and sorry, bud. In here. I want to welcome Lex. Lex is a guy that's been in our Kodi circle. Tevers is seen him in the past, and
you all know me. I just don't want everyone else
So yeah, it's a lot. He's been around doing some different stuff and helping people. Really good guy that I've known for a long time, and he's working on a new project, Navi-X. Did you want to explain what you're? And I'll crank up my Kodi and share my screen because I didn't know if you were going to share yours. So
yeah, I'll let you share yours. So it's basically it's just it's a tribute to Navi-X.
Really?
Navi-X, great add-on. It was somewhat chaotic though. So you could find cool stuff, but you really had to search for it.
Hey, I love Navi-X, man.
So the modern take on that, if you like, using the gen template. I've modified that somewhat to make it work, but it gives users the options to configure things how they want them, but it's only really going to work if people contribute. And the goal is to get as many people as possible to contribute something to it, just like Navi-X was. Loads of listers throw in whatever they had in there. So for it to be good, it's going to need an effort from the group.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and share this. Okay.
Wow.
All right. Yeah, we could do a little multi. And now this is and I'll go through some of the stuff that I noticed in this. And the idea behind this is to give people, in my opinion, to make it very easy to make an add-on. I mean, extremely easy. I mean, even easier than the gen template to make an add-on. But then you're looking to have people to be able to submit lists. These are just some things I added. This was my reality TV list, which is on Pastebin. And these lists that I have here are on Tract. So for us people that have been using Tract, I created a Tract list, and then I added that track list to my add-on. So it goes to Tract. And here are some TV shows. This is my reality TV stuff. I probably needed to be careful of what list I did. Okay, so on this, these are things about I called it what are they thinking? And these are shows, and if you like, oh my God, this Dr. Pimple Popper, that disturbs me why these people watch that. I cannot, but it's a reality, so I put it in here. So let's say if I wanted to watch Hoarding, and then it will go to the number of seasons, and then I would click on the episode, and then the next thing you'll do is it's going to give me the episodes, and then I would click what episode I wanted to watch and click it, and then it would scrape. And anybody that's known with Kodi, it will basically look for the links. And I just added this by adding one little one line, and actually in the test that Lex put out, my list was in there under local. And I'm not sure, are you hoping so people that you're hoping that people will submit their XML lists to put it out there?
They don't have to necessarily physically submit a list, just have to have, if they're using a list already in an add-on, for instance, just a Pastebin link.
Okay.
That's all it will take. And then when you configure each menu item, you'll have options to use a local list, an online list, or to generate your own list.
Yeah. And now it's like,
once to use the online, you'll just add your Pastebin link in there, and then that will pull that list.
All right, I'm going to go ahead. We're going to go into the settings and to let people see. And then I will show a Pastebin. If anybody's watched some of my earlier videos on how to make a gen add-on, we did videos on that. I show about Pastebin, and I'll show my Pastebin that was for that reality TV to kind of give you an idea. So we're going to go to the settings for this add-on, and this is the display. These two features are so that I can turn those off so I would not see those, or I will see those. And they're, as you can see, they're turned on. So that's why you saw those two tabs at the top of my list.
So straight out of the box, that's all you'll see.
Yep, yep.
So and it's already a working add-on, but the add-on information will give you an idea of what to do.
So, in what your idea here is, you can have up to 15 lists in this, right? 1 to 15.
I mean, it doesn't have to be 15 lists. It can be 15 mains.
Oh, yeah. Because if you have a main and then on to another list. Because like with mine, it goes from reality and then it breaks it down into other lists inside the reality. So let me see. I'll just show. You can see that it's pulling from file, the DAB one, which is basically local. Let's see. Well, no, I think I pulled this from my. Oh no, this is all right. Hold on a second. Let's do this. Oh, using a mouse helps. So this is where you're talking about. You can do it online, which would be putting in a URL, or local, or the generator, which would be kind of like the XMLerator that we talked about that creates lists.
It's exactly that. It's exactly that. So it will use XMLerator. It will take your tracked IMDb or TMDB list information, turn that into a usable XML, write the XML, and then allow you to choose that XML from a list. But I haven't finished that yet, so that's not going to work today.
Right, that's fine. But we got you can also choose the icon. You can choose the fan art for this. I didn't choose for mine. I've just started messing around with it today. Yeah. Lex had sent out, so this is just a test. So look, let's say
if you go into customization, Todd,
there's
grab an icon, grab fan art, so you can actually use any icon you want, any fan art.
Okay, I got one problem with this program.
What's that?
It's easier than Navi-X.
This is the point. Yeah. But
so you'd put
kind of
your
making
URL
your own add-on without having to do too much.
Yeah, you don't have to know. Like, all right, when we were doing gen, and Tvers, when people were making gens, sometimes people are like, I'm not a dev, I'm not a program. So what you're doing here is you're just linking to these to your list that you made, and I'm going to show my track list so people understand what I'm linking to. This is where you were talking about if you wanted to get an image, you would put the URL, and it would actually download a image for you.
Yep. Okay, and then allow you to choose that if you so wish for one of the menus.
All right, I'm gonna close out of that. What I was gonna do is go into here. I'm gonna go down here, and I'm gonna go down to this one, and I'm gonna go and just show right now some of the local lists that you had in there.
Yep.
Oops, hold on a second. Local, right here it says choose a list. These are just some lists that were built into this version right now. Just there's some Disney production. These are probably production companies.
Yeah.
Fishing networks. Networks would be like ABC, NBC, CBS, concerts, tutorial, docs, genres of movies. All right, so let me just do the genres of movies. That's pretty straightforward. And I'm gonna change the name here, right? We're gonna change the name. So I'm just gonna say genre. I'm gonna call them genre. All right. Okay. Change that. I'm not going to do the icon now. I could pick an icon from my computer or online, but I'm not going to mess with that. I don't need to mess with that. It's pretty straightforward. Oops. All right, let's go back into Navi-X. I keep wanting to say Navi-X. So this was where we talked about that. Those are ticked, so that's why you see those. And here's that genre that I just added from the XML that was inside the beta right now. And again, action, adventure. So you have the genres of movies. So if we go there, and this is probably just looking at TMDB or Tracked. I'm not sure which one.
I can't remember which one either. But
it's because Tracked and TMDB and IMDb, they'll have all the movies that are action or all the movies that are adventure, and there's your action. So you would go through if you wanted to watch one of these. Well, you would click it and then it would play, or it would start to scrape for it. It would look for it. It would look for it. Now, some of these movies are not on the internet right now. Like Gemini Man is not out there. But yeah, definitely like if we did Hobbs and Shaw, I haven't, and see, you can see here it is finding links. And we would, once it's done complete, we would click it and you can see it's going through. So I'm just going to close that out. But you can see that was just as easy as it can be. let's go back into the settings before I jump over to tracked and paste bin. Some of the stuff from Gen, which is cache, which means how long it remembers the information that the add-on gathered, be the movie list or that kind of stuff.
Yep.
And you have that in how long it remembers it, because if you have the cache, meaning that the add-on remembers the list, like that list I just did that said action, adventure, it's going to remember it for 1,400 minutes before it deletes it, and then it would, when I clicked on that genre again, it would download it again. If we go back into genre right now, it will load like pretty instant.
Exactly, yeah.
Scrapers, again, this has some settings like Gen is. You can go in and change the scrapers. Resolvers, turning on real debris. Let's see. All right, so we got that. Let me show people. I'm going to show people the my tracked list and how easy my reality TV thing. So let's let me back out of this, folks. So remove that from my stream. All right, and so I'm going to go to my tracked account. I guess I probably should be sharing my screen so that so that you can actually see what So I'm going to go here to tracked. Tracked account, and I will have to go to not sure which one. Yeah, I think this is my full one. Yeah, so this is my tracked.tv. Great site for keeping track of what you've watched, what you want to watch, how much you've watched of a show. A lot of add-ons link into this, but I have lists that I have in here, and I'm gonna go to my lists. And here you go. I got my reality shows, which was all the reality shows, but then I also have it broke down into what were you thinking? And that was the box I clicked. So we go to what are you thinking? And then this is all the shows that I had added that I had in this list. Now I can go on TV and I can add a show to this list. And I'm just going to grab a show that, let me just say this show, even though it's not a reality show, I'm just going to add it. I go right here, add it to a list. I'm just going to put it in, what are you thinking? And it's done. Let me go to my list and you'll see it's already in there. So if we go back into the add-on, that show will now be, where's it at? There it is, Supernatural. There's Supernatural, added that list. Now, if we went into the add-on, and if I went into the add-on and I looked in this section, what was it? What are you thinking? It would have now this show would be added to it. I mean, it's creating a list on Tracked is that easy. I mean, it gets no easier than making, and you make these lists. You can make these lists. I have, like, this is all reality. I've got trailer park stuff in here. I've made all kind of funny names, you know, MTV Loves Drama, Celebrities Need an Extra Cash, which is all your celebrity type shows, Rednecks and Country Folk. Yeah, I love that's the one I like the most. It's got all my country stuff on there. So let me show you the list, and this is going to be my real world list. Okay, so you see this is what are you thinking? And again, we call this isn't coding, but this is the amount of information that you have to add. I have this information here, title. All right, in between the title, I put what I want to call it. What are you thinking? And then I put, it says tracked right here, so it knows to look at tracked. I put my URL, which is my name, and then what the item is. I have my image, my fan art, and then I can put what I call it. And that's as much as when you add it to Pastebin. And like Lex was saying, once I create this paste, and again, we've got videos on it on making a gen and paste. You can look up Pastebin on my things, and I show it a little bit slower than this. I make it, and then like say if I wanted to add this, I want to go to the raw, because I got to have the raw, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So all I would do is I would copy this URL right here. I'm gonna go back into the add-on. So we're just gonna add that list that I have. I'm gonna put it in here somewhere. Turn on 4, and we're gonna call this is online because we just because we just made we just did a list online. So we're gonna go there. I'm gonna go there, and I'm just gonna paste it. Doing this on the computer is the easiest way. I'm gonna say done. What do I want to call it? And I'm just gonna call it Dabs Test. Okay. Again, I could do art, and I'll show you. I guess I don't have it. So is this looking local?
Yep, that's included.
Okay.
Straight away.
Okay, I didn't know if I could browse my computer. So I'm just going to say test just for shits and giggles. And I'm going to hit OK. And I'm going to back out and go back in. It's going to refresh. There's Dabs Test. And that's looking at that paste bin that I had, which is basically the same one that I showed in Dab's reality thing. I mean, maybe I'm making this sound too simple, or I'm running through this, and if you watch some of our other videos, we go slower. But for people that are familiar with doing an add-on and making these track lists, you'll see it doesn't get any easier than this.
It really is that easy, though. Yeah,
I mean, it sounds like a lot of steps, but I'm telling you, once you did it a couple times, it's like, oh, that's easy. And next thing you know, you have your own add-on that has. You could do this with movies. Tract has movies. If you go to Tract, I can actually go to movies and add movies. Let's just do this El Camino right here. I'm going to do this. I'm going to add it to one of my lists. And you can make these lists. I'm going to add it to one of my lists, and bam, it's added to my list. It's that easy. When I kind of highlight it, it shows that it's added to one list. So you can do that for movies or whatever. So if there's certain ones you want to watch, this is a website, folks. If you're using streaming devices, even if you're using APKs, a lot of them will use Tract. You can link Tract into it, and it just it remembers what you watched. You can go back and set it up. I mean, it just makes it very easy for people that are in streaming to use. So did I explain enough of that? Did that make sense?
Good. That's good.
All right, so I'm gonna remove my stream there. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense to you guys. I don't know if there was any questions because I can't.
It's just options. It gives the user options to configure it the way they want to use it. Really, I mean, no add-on is perfect for anyone.
And what your hope here is? Your hope is that more people will create these lists, create these XMLs, and more people will share those XMLs with other people, just like Navi-X. People created lists in Navi-X and let anybody use those lists. They weren't, well, these are my lists, I'm going to hold on to them. They just created lists and said anybody can use it.
That's not what Kodi's about, man. It's not that at all. It's not about egos. It's not about, I've got the best add-on on it. It's about content, and it's about sharing content with total strangers, because that's what Kodi is for. Yeah,
that's the idea that I think is lost. A lot of times people are so protective. I created this list. I don't want nobody else to have it. Come on now. I mean, this stuff is out there. It's about creating something, sharing it, hoping. The hope is, and I've seen it in some of the Gen add-ons, that you've seen people that had no dev experience create an add-on and actually make some really good add-ons and continue to make new items in the add-ons and make really good things. There's been some really good stuff out there. Even when all the big add-ons, and I'll say the ones that, the TVA ones that everybody relied on for so long, when they went down, everybody's still able to watch the content they want. And because other people have stepped up, and that's the thing, other people step up. And I think that's what Lex is hoping, that creating this, making it easy, that people will jump on board and say, let me help and create a list and share it for everybody.
I mean,
So Bob is asking, where do we share these XMLs? Because this is still in the development side.
Still in development. I haven't figured out a way. I've got a few ideas, but I mean, I'm open to more suggestions because it's not just me. This is supposed to be, a community project, if you like. So all suggestions are welcome, and if we can find a way that works.
Yep.
I mean, ideally, once the plugin's finished and it's out there, you should never have to touch it again. Then it's just a case of configuring it how you want. And if there's lists that are hosted online somewhere and we can gather a list of lists, if you like, and people can just choose from those, then we can just add to lists to, the host file.
Yeah, because the thing about you don't want to be the only one adding or removing these lists, because that becomes too much, and that's not what the whole. Because then one person's having the weight of adding and taking them away, and that's not what it's about.
But it's to pick up momentum and to grow itself.
It's got to be able
making it grow.
Because anybody can make a Navi-X list and put it out there, and then if someone wanted to take it down, they could just remove it. But nobody had control of other people's lists, so So that's the idea, and that's where you're still kind of working on how to work that out. And
we'll have some ideas. Scrape a list from somewhere. But I think it was you said Reddit.
And I was thinking, and I mentioned to you, Reddit, because if on Reddit, like I'll say on the sports stuff, if you guys remember, Reddit used to do a Reddit thread, and you would say, let's say a football game came on. So on Sunday, there would be a thread says NFL football, and it would have a different game, and then inside each game, people would post links, like hot links to a thing. Well, what was it? There was a sports add-on, and it would scrape the Reddit page, and then that's what you saw on the add-on. You would see NFL, then you'd see all the games, and then when you click the game, it would scrape that Reddit link for all link, and then you click the link and you could play it. So my thought was if you had a Reddit thread, people could say, let's just say, Bob's list, because we're looking at Bob's list, and then he had a URL, and your add-on would just look at that Reddit thread and say, Bob's list, here's the URL, possibly, and then just link it, and then people could click it, and I want to install Bob's thread.
Yeah. I mean, that's it sounds like a good idea.
Yeah.
My ability is maybe gonna take a hammering while I try to do that and make it work. But hey.
Yeah. Well, and then PC Paul says get O'Neill to set up a server. With but the thing about it is, that when you have it, how do you allow people to add a list and to remove their list, as well as not allow other people to screw with other people's lists?
Yeah, so you need something that people can add stuff to.
And that's why I was thinking, my thought is on Reddit, you can't remove other people's thread or other people's comments. You can remove your own comment, but you can't remove other people's. So, but it's a work in progress. This was something that I know that you've been tinkering around with, and so it's kind of a sneak preview for folks that if you want to message me on Telegram. If Lex creates a room or something, maybe I can point you to that room and some conversation, because Lex is real good about, he's not one of those people sitting on a throne.
Anyone who wants to get involved, just more than welcome to get involved.
Yeah, and that's what this is all about. Hey, Ebony, how are you doing, bud?
I'm doing really good, thank you.
Thanks for joining from the One Nation group.
How's it going? Long time no see.
I've been hiding.
Yeah, he's been working. Look at what happens when he starts working.
Working where? He's been working in the bedroom.
This gets me out of the house because, Bumblebee has been at home up until recently. She's back at university again. So she's been home. So I needed something to get me out of the house, or I'd end up killing her. One of the two. But, you need time away from the woman, right?
Yeah.
Now and again, it helps.
But yeah, actually, the truth is, I mean, I've been kind of loving having. I'm reconnecting with local people again. I have a shop. I don't make a lot of money here, truthfully. I do a lot more education. Like people will come in if they want me to program the box. Okay, I'll charge them. If they want me to teach them how to program it, I don't charge for that. I show them how to program a box. We talk about Kodi. They want to talk about what builds were better or not build. I talk about that. I don't charge for that. And me selling the boxes just allows me to open the door to educate people.
It's good to disconnect from the online world as well, and like get out in your community and the locals, and there's more to life than being online.
Yeah, well, most of the people come in here, they don't even know what YouTube is half the time. Mm-hmm. A lot of the people are not even on Facebook, never mind. They don't know. They want to, and I got so tired in the past of, these private sellers who will sell off a box and never support, never teach, never do anything. And anytime they brought the box back to them, they charged them an arm and leg again just to reprogram the sucker. And that just pissed me off, because with a little bit of education, a person could stand on their own 2 feet and not have to. It doesn't have to be a money pit.
Yeah,
that's what my goal is. Completely for the shop. That's what the goal was.
It's like I come into this like 4 years ago, not knowing much about it at all. Then I just like Googled and self-helped myself into like Kodi, and I found like the groups, the main people to go to. I saw like Pulse was there, then I saw like Wiki was there. Made my pickings, and just went from there, like, and just like self-taught myself for it, and through help from like some great people.
Yeah, but on all fairness, and again, I've said it numerous times. There's a lot of learning to this. It can be easy, and it can also be hard. And some people just don't want to learn. They want to be able to go and click and to play. So I see a need. I used to hate box sellers, to be honest. I used to hate them. But now I see there is a niche for that, as long as a box seller's not gouging people and ripping people off. Like Teaver says, if you're selling a device and you set it up, you have it so they take it home, plug and play, and it's great, fine. You got a little bit, it was worth their investment. But if they've got to pay and you're gouging them, you gouge them on the front end of getting the device, and then you're gouging them, or you're just AOA, you're gone on the back end of that device when something needs to be worse. Because how many people do you know that when they'll say, well, I have a Kodi stick, that's what they always say, I got a Kodi stick, and that Kodi stick's broke. I'm like, what do you mean? Oh, it's broke, it don't work, that thing, that they suck. I'm like, Kodi works fine. Oh no, it doesn't. I'm like, well, what do you have on it? Let me try to give you some information. And they'll say, well, if you can fix it, I'll pay you. I'm like, especially with someone I work with, I'm like, I'll fix it. Fix it, yeah. Take it back, boom. They're like, oh my God, it works great. Yeah, it wasn't broke. I mean, it was just not programmed or not.
It was in need of an update.
It needed an update.
Yeah, that's the difference. It's like you got your IPTV sellers. A lot of them like sell boxes.
Yeah.
With a sub on it, and then you renew your sub. They will provide you with customer service and have their own groups and chats set up. Then you got your stick sellers on Facebook Marketplace.
Mm-hmm.
And they just will charge you, I don't know, £80. Like they'll charge you £30 over the top.
Oh yeah.
Just because they put Kodi on it. There's no bill on it. Nothing.
Yeah, I see the marketplace all the time. $70 to $80 for a basic Fire Stick, not a 4K. Yep. And the other thing about it is, all right, I'm on Prime, and most of these guys have Prime, so they probably got a discount on it, so they probably paid $20 or maybe less for the stick. And then they're like, well, my time is worth that $60. It's really, I mean,
exaggerated. I mean, when they first started selling them, it was Apple TVs.
Yeah.
They were like £350.
Mm-hmm.
set up, ready to go. And at the time, there was no Android devices as such. I think Raspberry Pis were the kind of the way forward if you wanted to use your TV. And they were really slow and laggy, but £350 for an Apple TV, 10 minutes work done to it. Really. Yeah. And then if it don't work, what do? There was no tracing these people down. It was just, you're stuck with an expensive paperweight, really. That's all they would do. I mean, it's wrong.
Yep.
But I think nowadays the information's out there now. There wasn't the YouTube channels. There wasn't all the information that we've got nowadays. It wasn't there. These people had the monopoly on everyone else because they knew something that everyone else didn't, and they could get away with it. Now I think it's worse because they're charging for something that people can Google in 5 seconds and find out exactly how to do that. And they've got the front to charge, I'll do it for you, 50 quid on top of the price of the device. That's just wrong. That's really, in a way, it's good for certain people. They can't bother.
Quick YouTube search.
But on the other hand, if you're going to tell someone, I'll do it for you, but why don't you do it yourself? If they can't be bothered, take their money. But you're selling something that's freely given is never.
It's the same as like you can wash your car yourself quite easily, but you'll pay someone else to do it for a £5.
Yeah. But that's the difference. You understand you can wash your car.
It's laziness. That's all it is.
Yeah.
I should take this one back. If you bought a box off me 9 months ago and you haven't maintained it, I will charge you to reprogram it, but here's my cost. And people look at me and they're like, you seriously? Okay. So there's a Coney Island shop just about 2 blocks away from my shop. They sell Coney Island cheeseburgers for $3. You want me to reprogram your box? Go get me a burger. I'm not kidding. That's my.
He's like Wimpy. He's like Wimpy. Well, I'll be happy to program that box for a cheeseburger.
Have it done by the time you get back with a burger.
Todd, you're showing your age now.
I know, a little Popeye. Yeah,
I remember that.
Yeah, there's probably. All right, we got 76 people watching. There's probably only about 5 that remember Wimpy and getting a cheeseburger. I'll happily pay you next Tuesday for a cheeseburger today. I mean, there's always the people that are out there to try to rip people off, and that's the thing. If and everybody that knows me knows my stance on a lot of this money and the money and Kodi, and it's just a bad mix. And the thing about if you're reasonable about it and you're fair about it, and you're not gouging people, I can see where it's a need, because if my family didn't have me, none of my family would have any kind of streaming cord cutting, because none of them are going to spend the time, like Ebony said, and they're not going to spend the time to go research it. They're just going to say, I'll just pay for cable. Once they see what I have and what I can set up for them, they're like, oh yeah, Todd, set that up for me. Yeah, I'll be happy to set that up for me. And that's the thing. And so I see there is a value for that, but as long as you're not, gouging people, and that's the thing. There's so many people that are just gouging these and making an IPTV. Some of these charges, and we talked about that last show or the show before. We talked about the cost of IPTV by some people. Some people are paying $20, $25, $40 a month. Yeah. Some are paying $40 a month for some of these name brand IPTV services. And it's like, wait a minute, they're just gouging people. So it's like, it's not a matter of, and so these people don't know, and people are like, well, I guess that's just the regular price. Yeah, and I just can't see that that's right. I mean, it's I guess that there's
especially in the UK, there's a massive variance in costings between IPTV services. I know some for as little as £35 for the year, which is probably about $27 for a whole year.
Yeah.
Going up to just £120.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Easily.
There's no difference in the service.
Yep. Yeah. And all right. So Donald says that the cable costs, and you're right. And that's where you're kind of like where people get caught. They'll say, "How much you paying for cable?" And then or cable TV, and people say, I'm paying, let's make it a low amount. I'm going to say they're just paying $100 for cable TV. And you're like, well, I can sell you this Android device. It's only going to cost you $200. And I'm going to set this box up for you, and you're going to be able to take it home, and you'll watch everything you want to watch. You'll be able to see anything. Things at the movies, you'll see this and that. Oh, live? Oh, you'll be able to see all the live you want. So a lot of times people will oversell and granted, when that salesperson's going through there, he knows where to go. He knows what apps to click on. He knows, and guess what? Things load like this. Things load like that. Customer gets it home and says, I just paid $200 because I'm saving $100 a month on my cable bill. They plug it in the first time or the second time, and then they invite friends over. Hey, we're going to watch the game or the pay-per-view. And then they find it's such a damn hassle because that person that sold it to them was just looking to grab a bunch of money on that front end. Yeah. If that salesperson isn't there to educate, like T versus saying, I want to educate you. I mean, that's why I make I do my show. My channels are to educate you so that you don't have to pay a box seller. You don't have to pay somebody else, because I'll show you how to do it yourself. Now, you may have to watch a 2-hour video, but you'll be able to do it yourself. And that's what gets me, is when I see these people that are like, well, I'm here to make a living. I got to pay for my time. I'm sorry, your time isn't worth $150, especially when they steal a build from somebody else. They'll take like a One Nation wizard or one of these other big, one of these other big groups, Ezerman's wizard or whoever, and they'll stick it on there. Or we got CDTV, who has a beautiful build and sells them with that pretty stuff. They're using everybody else's work and fattening their pocket, and then maybe not helping people in the back end.
I was coming to this part.
Yeah.
That's when we get these people join our groups. Then they find us online, like One Nation or Resumac, whoever. So I bought this Gen 2 Fast Stick with your build already loaded, and you're like, what? How? And then they want support because it's not working. Then it all comes to light that they bought it off Facebook Marketplace through some dodgy seller.
Yep.
And it always comes to light that way. That's how you end up, like, people just like.
I gotta let you guys know, though. I'll be honest that when I sell a box, I don't preload Kodi on it anymore.
You got to be worried about that.
Because most of the users that come in here are newbies, and if I want to teach them about streaming, I'm going to put something. The three big rules that I have when it comes to choosing an APK is, A, it's got to update on its own, because I don't want them to have to keep bringing the box back to me. That's huge to me. A, it's got to have no ads, or B, it's got to have no ads, right? That's also important. And C, it's got to be from a developer I know and trust.
That's
no malicious shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah. But that's if so updating. Well, so let me ask this question, since we talk about streaming, different aspects of streaming. All right, so Nova TV, I know that's been the big buzz APK in the last week or so, which I actually can show it. I've got BlueStacks. I can run it and show people it. It's all right. I mean, it's just a basic thing. TTV, I'll say that I had TTV on my device. Works fine. I could install Tracked and Reel to Brid. So what would you said no ads, in which that to me, without being a modded version, that would be pretty hard to come by.
You just got to know, like, you know how being in the Kodi world, I made a lot of friends, right?
Yeah.
And I got to know a lot of programs. Well, working in the APK world, I've actually met quite a few of the developers of the different programs.
Okay.
And there was this team called Team No Name. You'd only find them on Discord, but they took Morpheus and turned it into Morph TV. No ads in Morph TV. And it uses Track, does the progress like the Watch Next. The only thing disadvantage is it didn't do Reel to Bride.
Mm-hmm.
But no ads, and it was always updating on its own. Now, the unfortunate part is that Team No Name has decided to shut down. The developer on Morph TV, he's got a 60-hour-a-week job. He's got a couple of kids. He just didn't have the time. So we handed over Morph TV to a younger guy who's got the time, and the new one is called Black Panther. Try finding it. You're not going to find it. The only place you're going to find it is on Discord. Just to let you know that. But I mean, if anybody ever wanted, I have it in my file linked. So, and they're just overhauling the engine on that one, and they're going to release another update. But when you're in it, like, so you're in the program, and there's a watch next button, and then right below it, it says update. If there's an update, you click on the update, hit the install. It's done.
Yeah, that's pretty straightforward. Most people can do that.
The other program they had on there, which was a terrarium base, was Titanium. And again, Titanium's gone now.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought that got shut down.
It's not gone. One of the young developers from the team took it over, and it's now called Typhoon TV. Again, no ads. The engine's amazing. The resolvers and links in there are wonderful. And it uses tracked and reel to ride. The only disadvantage, okay, so in Morph TV or Black Panther, right, it verifies the links. That's the one thing I like. So a newbie who's learning streaming is now going to know that every link that comes up in Black Panther will work. Right. And the second thing that Black Panther or Morph will do is it'll give you a ping rate to the server with the video. Okay. So the lower the number, the better.
Right, right.
So introducing a newbie to the streaming world, to me, the best program is the Black Panther or the Morph TV, because that really gets to teach them what links are going to work better. So they start there, and then they go over to Titanium or Typhoon, and they like, oh, there's open load, which, by the way, you don't have to pair. It just goes. So there's open load, there's put locker, there's all these different links, and they're like, I saw that I saw that one over there in Morph TV. I know that's a good one. So.
Well, that's somebody. I put the thing. They said Cyberflix and Typhoon. Now, Cyberflix, I used to use Cyberflix on a semi-regular basis. I haven't used Typhoon, and you said that was a fork or another version of, what'd you say, Titanium?
Titanium, yeah.
Because I knew the Titanium.
It's Terrarium.
Right, Terrarium, Titanium. Well, so it was Terrarium TV, which was super popular. I mean, it was so easy to use. And then the developer that shut down, the developer said, you know what, he actually got letters from he got some of the ACE letters that said, cease and desist. So he basically shut down the APK set. So he quit it. And then you said, so then it was Titanium. It's a different group of people.
Yep, different developers.
Yep, different developers took it over and created an APK. And that got to be, I had seen numerous people talk about Titanium. Now those guys have disbanded and quit. Some different people have taken a new it. And that's the thing about streaming. Most people are not making any money on this. Most aren't. Some APKs do that have ads. Those APKs are going to generate some cash through the ads. But a lot of this streaming stuff, nobody's making any money. So when they get a letter from ACE or Motion Picture Association or whoever, they get a letter saying cease and desist, majority of those people are going to stop. Because it's not worth, they don't have the money to invest to fight it. Or they just say, it's not worth the hassle. So if you don't stay in the know a little bit, the things will stop working. You'll think it's not working anymore. Let me see. I'm gonna look up this Typhoon. I'm gonna look up Typhoon. Hold on a second.
Chaps, I'm done. It's midnight. Gonna have to
all right, Lex. Thanks for coming on. Me. Hey, bud, send me if you create a group or anything. Send me a link.
Yeah.
If anybody wants to join, maybe we can get some people to jump on board and to help out.
Yeah, if anyone wants to, just hit me up. We'll sort something. Yep.
Thanks for showing me that, and I'm glad that everybody got to see it. And that's going to be Navi-X is going to be the name of that.
Navi-Lex.
Lex. Yep. LEX, like him over here. Lex.
Whereabouts are you in the UK? Because you sound like really close to me.
Well, yeah, it might be.
You sound like you're across the road. You really sound like you're right across the road from me.
Right, he don't want to be saying where he lives, Mr. Ebony.
Yeah.
Sneaky fella.
He's probably his number.
You got. All right, so I'm going to share this. What was I going to do? Oh, I'm going to go to Kodi apps.
Exactly what happened is your dude that works in the front.
All right. All right, what's he talking about back over there? So I'm gonna look up this. All right, here's Typhoon, and we just had Kodi apps on here last week. So simple as this, I'm gonna go to his Android APKs. All right, hold on a second, folks. Let me put Teevers on mute. I'm highlighted here. Okay, so we have he's got a website here. All these are ways that I can download the APK, but I'm gonna go ahead and just go to the website. Download. Oh, that site is gone. All right, so he's gonna have to update that because this link is now dead, and I guarantee it's not at the Google Play Store. So
you scroll up the page a bit, yeah. Click on add-ons. And click on deceit. I think it's about number 6, and you can push yourself another place.
Oh, jeez. No, I was trying to show this. So let's do that. I'm going to do a little copy. Let's take a look and see. There's Typhoon Me. Maybe he moved the site, so yeah, Kodi Apps is going to have to change that. Let's go on down here, how to download. If I want to download the APK, so I'm going to do that. Download.
Andrew, if you're watching, sort your site out.
He's good. He's good. Uh-oh. They lost the APK file. They lost it. All right.
You've broken it.
It isn't my fault.
You've broken it.
All right, this is for Fire Sticks. I don't want it for Fire Sticks.
You broke it.
You buy it. You broke it. You buy it. Oh. So hopefully he'll get that fixed. This is a modded version of it. Not thrilled. I'd prefer to get it from the regular site. He also had, if you looked, you can install one of the other things you can do on Kodi apps, and we talked about this with the APK time. If you install APK time, I'm
gonna send you the link, the only link that's the proper link for that button.
For Typhoon?
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
If you get, I can't post the link, but I'll give it to you.
No. Yeah, I'll look for it.
Oh, it won't let me post it. Okay,
put it in our private chat.
Is there a private chat?
Yeah. Look over on the right. You can send it to me privately.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. Send me that.
Yeah, I'm not in it, but you can forward it on.
All that's gonna do when you click on that link is it's going to download the file automatically.
Okay.
There's no page or anything.
All right.
That is his official place.
The actual download link. Yep. There we go. So I'm gonna save this.
You will find him on Discord though.
All right, I might have to join that.
Yep.
You're saying you're not on Discord yet?
Yeah, but I'm not in that group. Believe me, I'm in plenty of Discord groups too. You know, plenty of groups. So I'm gonna share my screen again.
Lots of fingers in lots of pies.
I got my fingers in them pies. So
let me actually then, while you're at that.
So I'm gonna mez. Oh, how about if I close Kodi? Number 1. Get back to here. Let's see, where do I have this? In my APK file. And this is BlueStacks, which is an Android, pretend Android. It's an Android emulator. So here's this. I'm just going to click it to install. We're going to take a look at it.
I hate BlueStacks.
Well, it works. It works when I'm trying to share a screen.
It works, but I hate it.
Yeah, it's all right. Yeah, so it's a lot like Terrarium TV, where you could choose the player, because I remember that from Terrarium TV. I'm just going to stick it with the XO player. Leave that.
Okay, I can't invite you to the Typhoon. You'd have to ask. I did post in the private where you can get, like, where a lot of the developers are for the different programs.
Okay.
Discord.
All right. All right.
In that one, you're going to find Black Panther. You're going to find the official copies of everybody.
So let's say if I wanted to look for a movie, and there you go. Let's see what kind of links.
You can tell you're doing that on BlueStacks.
Don't show me this again. I got it. So what it's doing now, and for us folks that have been streaming for a while, what it's doing now is it's looking out on the internet for where this particular film is at. And it's finding servers or host places that have it. And it's going to list it.
And give it a little time.
Yeah.
You'll end up getting some of the CDNs and that up there too. So
I don't want to. Why does it get rid of that?
you got to click on that.
Do I have to?
Yeah. Yep. Only once. The first time you do it, it's done.
Okay. Okay.
But you'll see right at the top of the list, there are some really nice link choices here.
All right. And now these are all non-Debrid, so you're not using a premium account. If I put my Debrid information, you probably find a lot better.
Yeah, they'll be green.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stop this because I'm not gonna click it. We know us folks. We know what happens on the clicking. So what I'm gonna do. Let's go into the settings. Let's take a look at the settings. Languages, default player, filter out cams. Oh gosh, yes, filter them out. You can put your tract, so I can link this to my tract.
Yeah.
So here we go. No, I got to do this over. Can I copy and paste? No, RMY. All right, hold on a second.
Yeah, BlueStacks gets a pain in the ass for the copy paste part.
Yeah. RMY. What was it again? W48NZ.
Yep.
W48NZ. W48NZ.
Yep.
And what's it going to call? I'm just going to call it Thai. Set the name. Let's open back here. So if this was on my Android device, this would all have been set up. So we've done that. So let's do a search for the same movie. Click again. We're going to click the play button. And so now it should give me real Debrid results. So we should see some RD. They'll say RD on the links. I would assume, or Deb or something. All right, they're actually Deb. It says Deb, and you can see they're in a new color. And look at right off the bat, you've got a 4K link. And look at how many of those that are on all these are Debrid links. Yep. Whereas before, remember, this was that wasn't my top one. I had a 1 gig or something that was the top. But here, this was the one that I had before. That was the best copy and look at how many it's. So that's the difference between using real Debrid and not using real Debrid. And people, I know it's $18 for 6 months, and I cut cord, I shouldn't have to pay. Okay, well then don't. But I'm gonna be. I could watch this in 4K if I wanted to. You're not. You're not gonna watch it 4K. I mean, if I watch it 1080, I could watch it in 12. I mean, so I can watch a whole lot better copy than people that are not having Debrid. So it does have some good Debrid service. So that's how that works. And you have popular, trending in the movie. So you have genres. So if I just care about family shows, click that. These are just family shows. Animation.
You want to know the big one in here that I do a lot because everybody comes in. I want my Netflix stuff. So choice is if you go to TV shows or under TV shows, you're going to see one in their category that says Netflix or Amazon.
Okay, so it's
Netflix, Hulu, Amazon. Okay, so I pulled it up and I'm like, is that not all your Netflix shows? They're like, yeah. So why do you pay for Netflix? Now you get it all for free.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, is cutting the cord, streaming, is it worry-free, stress-free? It's like super easy? No, it's not super easy. Once you learn it, it's really not hard. Sometimes a little bit of work to get it going, and then once it's playing, and I don't know. I wonder if does this have next episode like some of the add-ons do?
Yeah, there's you can auto play the next one and stuff like that.
Yeah. Which that's like your Netflix. Some of the add-ons do that, where it'll play the next episode. Enable new episode notification, so it can notify you if there's a new episode. So cool. That's all right. So yeah, that's let me close the. I know that some people said that Nova was a big buzz. I'm not jumping on bandwagons as soon as it comes out. I know that unlock my TTV, which I think was a Cinema HD clone. A lot of people like that. I use TTV on my Shield if I have to, but that's another one. Really easy to use, easy to figure out. Takes your Drill to Brit account.
It's a terrarium based one too. So
yep. So easy to use. So
do you want me to show you Black Panther?
Yeah. You want to share your screen, or you want to?
Yeah, I can. I've got Black Panther set up here.
All right, go ahead and send a stream out.
I gotta pick the screen though, right?
Well, if just once you'll share it, and I'll actually click for people to see it. All right, that's your screen. All right.
So this is Morpheus. Morpheus. You remember Morpheus, right?
Yep. Morpheus. Yep.
This is the entire engine. So and then the team No Name took over and made Morph TV, and this is basically the engine. Now this is 1.13 as you saw at the bottom. They're about to come out with 1.14.
Okay.
Because they have to update the resolvers.
Yeah.
But what I love most, my track is installed on here already. Okay. There's my next episodes. And that's the thing I used to love about Placenta was progress rate. Big picky thing for me.
Yeah.
But I mean, let me just go to movies. You can do a search, but it doesn't have a lot of categories. This is the one thing I don't like. But trending, let me click on Joker. Now, searching for links in here takes a little bit longer, and you're not going to end up with 150 different links. You'll probably end up with 10 or 15.
Mm-hmm.
But again, every single link works. And if you have a slower internet, you'll see it in the ping rates.
Okay. And that's what a lot of there's certain add-ons that verify the link, and that's what he's talking about. What it does is it scrapes, and then it actually makes sure that the links Gaia, Saren, and Destiny would be the three off the top of my head that those add-ons and Kodi verified the link. So people would say, well, I don't get as many links. That's because it's checked and made sure that the links are going to work. Whereas instead of just scraping and giving you 200 links and maybe, 10 or 20 right off the bat don't work.
Yep. And, I can do this now and then do it again in an hour, and I might end with more links at that point. Like this afternoon for Joker, I was averaging about 15 links. I love the progress bar.
Okay. Yeah. I can. All right. So it's actually moving.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's still searching. And I always tell people, like, if you're used to Kodi, this one here takes a little bit longer to find the links. You just need to be a little bit patient. But what I like, again, is this numbers. And I tell people when they buy...
So, all right. So, because OpenLoad will have multiple links because OpenLoad is just like warehousing links. Yep. OpenLoad has it, and they'll have the Joker, and then they'll go and find the links on these other servers. So when you click the OpenLoad, those are the links that OpenLoad would be showing you. Okay, all right.
Yeah, and what I always tell everybody is that basically the rule for any link on here, if it was under 2,000, it'll be green. But the basic rule is anything under 3,000 is a good link.
Yeah.
I'll start it up, but I'll stop it right away, just to show you how quick it starts. See, it's already started.
Dang. Oh, and it's got that Russian crap. How many? All right. So I see. All right. Now I see the number 5 for OpenLoad. Enter video has 1. Okay.
And there's the ping rates right there.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
So the
Now-
lower the number, the better, because that means you're closer or a faster connection to that,
Exactly.
that source.
So this is why I said this is for a beginner. This is the most amazing program because it does track, and it does give you verified links, and it verifies the speed.
Mhm.
But well, okay, so we'll come back, and this is the biggest feature I love. Again, the watch next progress, but setting it up is easy. You come into here, and truthfully, I never. The only thing I change in here is because when he does it, he has the automatic download turned on for
Mhm.
subtitles.
Oh, okay.
I usually turn it off. But honestly, if you want to set up track, and I can't do it because it's already. Well, actually, give me a second. I'll take mine out. Oh crap! There's no way of taking it out. Okay, so basically the only way, if you come into movies, and you click on favorites, right? It's gonna pop up an activation link. Instead of giving that, it'll say go to track.tv, activate, and give you the code.
Yep. Like
And that's
like my Real Debrid did.
Yeah, that's all you do is just put the code in, and boom, it goes.
Okay.
That's how simple it is to put track. But again, unfortunately, there's no real Debrid in here, and they don't plan on putting real Debrid. So
Oh.
that's the only downfall. But like I said, for a beginner, this is an amazing program to start because now you're going to learn what links are good so that actually when you go into Typhoon or something, you're pretty good. You know what I mean?
Yeah. 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 That's. I mean, streaming, cord cutting. You've got to have some options, and you have some options. You can figure out what works best for you. You know, for me, Kodi works great. I do great, and I use my between Saren and me putting my direct links in for Real Debrid for my Real Debrid mod. That nothing gets easier, and I know exactly what I'm getting. And then I'll use. I know Deceit and The Crew are two that I've used for my live sports when my IPTV was down. I was using those two add-ons because I wanted to watch the football game and I couldn't watch it. And guess what? I was able to go to that, and those add-ons actually listed the sports, and I was able to watch it.
And Deceit was kicking ass. It still is.
You guys are. I mean, you guys. It amazes me that the work that some of these guys are doing in these add-ons. And again, they're not doing it for any pay. There's no ad money. There's no financial gain from what these guys are doing. They're just doing it to help everybody.
We pay for our own servers out of our own pocket. We don't ask for nothing.
And that's the thing. I don't think that everyone understands We
joined Kodi for the free content, and my hero went down. So that's how I got into it. Where Megamind quit his build.
Yep.
So I put my spin on his build to provide for the people with no money, like myself. And that's what we're still about.
Yep.
But yeah, it does. We all chip in. There's a few of us in the team, so
yeah.
The money spread about is nothing. So
Oh
yeah, go ahead, Tevers.
I was going to say the last thing you noticed about Typhoon and Black Panther, it didn't ask you to pair when you clicked on an open load.
Yeah, no, it didn't. You did it, yeah, and you didn't have Real Debrid.
Nope. None of these programs will ask you to pair on an open load.
That's weird.
I don't know how the APKs get away from it from Kodi. I don't, but they don't. So, don't get me wrong. I like TTV as well. That Discord I sent you, you're going to find the modded version of TTV in there, by the way.
And all right, so let me explain to this for people that, again, when we're talking, we've got 85 people in here. I don't know how many people are. I call us power cord cutters, where we have a little bit more knowledge than maybe the new person that walks into this. A modded version of an APK, and an APK is a program you put on an Android device. You can run it on your phone. You can run it on one of our Android boxes, Fire Stick, stuff like that. The modded versions usually remove the ads because a lot of these APKs will have an ad, and it pops up at the beginning, it pops up at the end, it'll pop up somewhere in it. And the reason why the developer puts it in there, because he says he needs to pay for their servers, which is a little hypocritical because they're piggybacking on, they're getting the links from somebody else. They're not paying that money to who's actually truly hosting the video that you're watching, they're paying for one server that basically hops you to where it's at. But we'll let that one go. So they're putting an ad in there so that they can pay for their server so that you can use their program. Modded versions will go in and people in the community will remove the ads. They remove the code so that the ads are not there. Then they release what's called a modded version. Downside of modded versions are they normally don't update. So most APKs will automatically update. It'll say, hey, there's a new update. You want to get it? You click yes. You download an update, and it continues to work. All the features are working. A modded version is, let's say that they modded version 2. So it's version 2. They modded it, put it out there for everything. But the official version went to version 3, did some fixes, and they moved on. Then that modded version stuck on 2. Now, if they did major changes, that modded version may break. It may stop working depending on what changes went forward in versions 3, version 3. So that's the version. That's why there's modded versions and not modded. Moddeds will not have the ads, the pop-ups and stuff in it. The official versions, I don't know what the percentage is, but a lot of them have ads.
But it makes you think, like, the modded version, why are they doing a modded version? What are they out to get? What are they putting inside it that no one else knows about?
I mean, there may be some people doing that, but then the same thing that I think that why do people make Kodi add-ons and put it out there? APKs are more dangerous than Kodi, to be honest, in my opinion. Because
I'm conscientious, but like you got the non-modded version where you pay for the ads.
Yeah.
What do people get out of cracking it? They must get something out of it.
Sometimes people crack it just to crack it. I mean, I'm in some of the groups that they crack it just to screw because they don't feel like a lot of people don't feel like these APKs should be making money off of these videos that the same thing that we talked about earlier about Kodi being for free, and then you got people that are going to pay. And it's like there's guys that crack it and mod it just because it's like, you shouldn't be making a bunch of money on this. And I don't know how much they make off of ads. I have no idea. But again, it goes back to the link that he showed the Black Panther. It pointed to a server. Where that video is actually at is not part of Black Panther. Black Panther has nothing to do where that actual video is hosted when you watch it. They just happen to point you to it. Is all they did. The APK says, oh, that ad app's over there. Same thing, Kodi does that. Hey, that video is over there. You can go watch it. Some APK developers feel like, well, I deserve for my time. I created this APK, and now I got to pay for my server. I don't know how much they feel like is fair or how much they should, and then they'll have donation links. So some guys will mod those APKs just to be a jerk. And again, it goes back to what I said earlier. APKs are more dangerous because it's harder to dig through the code to see if there's some malicious stuff in there. There's been some APKs that had some malicious code in it that were pointing you to websites and clicking websites and generating money that you didn't know that you were doing it and running in the background. Kodi, on the other hand, as a community, it's open sourced. There's no code inside the Kodi add-ons that me or Tivers or Ebony can go not look at. We can look at every bit of code that's in the Kodi add-on. Look right at it. Even if they encrypt it. They encrypt it, we can unencrypt it. It's pretty simple. Most of it's just base 64. You just unbase it. Oh, well, there's all the code. So we can see it. So in a way, Kodi is self-policing because when there is malicious code, it's found, people are called out. And so APKs, there's so many, nobody knows. And nobody knows about it.
That's what I said to you. My 3-year-old, it had to be ad-free.
Yep.
It had to be updating automatically, and I have to trust the dev.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I don't recommend it.
Yeah. And that's
if I've gotten to talk to the dev, get to know who they are, what they're about, and truthfully, I can tear an APK apart and check the things myself if I want.
Right.
but and I have for some. But if I've gotten to know the group, and like I said, Team No Name, Typhoon, Black Panther, these guys are good guys. So and I learned to trust them. But you're right. Like Cyberflix, for example, somebody cloned Cyberflix and put it up for you to download that had malicious stuff in it, and that wasn't from the original Cyberflix dude. That was somebody else.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, if you don't know where you're downloading it from, these people are going to get stuck with something that could cause damage to them.
Right. Mm-hmm. Well, you could be doing numerous things. There's people that had data miners, mining for cryptocurrency on your device, and you're wondering why your device is slow. You're like, well, my device is a piece of junk. And next thing, you don't find out till later that it's got crypto mining going on in the background. Hey, Diana, thanks for jumping on, honey.
Plus malware going on in the background.
Yeah. So, again, there's options for your streaming, whatever, APKs, Kodi, or Plex. I mean, there's so many options, and you got to figure out what works for you.
If you're thinking about an APK, ask her out and get opinions from people.
Yeah.
Don't just see one
Well, don't be the first one on. Don't try to. A lot of times people chase after the very first APK out there. Oh, I'm going to be the first one. You may not want to be the first one. You might, you may want to wait for stuff to be a little vetted. And and again, you can look at some different sites and usually there's some information, but that's why I'm saving, for me, I'm saving over $100 a month in my cable bill, but I'm willing to put a little bit of work. I definitely put more work than what an average user would, but if you're going to save on your cable bill, you may need to just spend, an hour here, an hour there, and find out and update stuff. And then the rest of the week or the week for 2 weeks, it's running great. 3 weeks, it's running great. So it's just, you got to just do a little work to gain on the back end. Yeah, exactly. Bob, how does crypto mining hurt you? It's using it's using the resources and your device to mine, and it's mining very slow. Android boxes make very little for a mining byte, but your CPU is being used, and your CPU is just being chewed up. You go to bed, it's still running. And then you get up in the morning, it's still running. You go to work, it's still running. And then you come home, so it's been running the whole time, hot as hell. You click open, you're like, I'm going to watch a movie and watch on Kodi. And you're like, damn, this box is slow. Why does Kodi take so long to open? Oh, I've been using these add-ons, and these add-ons suck because they're not opening fast enough. Because it's using all those resources for that mining that you don't even know. So that's where crypto mining can hurt you. And it can actually chew up your processor and maybe overheat your box. Maybe your box overheats and your box fucking dies because it was running. Oh, so,
you cursed! You just cursed right there.
Yeah, my box is dead. So that's why I ain't beating you up, Bob. I'm just saying, some people may not see a reason why it's bad. So, we've seen some different things. So. Keep educated, stay on that. I'm going to roll out of here because it's 2.5 hours. We have had especially a rock chip. Yeah, rock chip is not a very good chip. So
no.
Yeah, nobody likes a rock chip.
Oh, they're better than the all winners though.
Oh, the who?
The all winner. The new chips they're called all winners. I think it's all winner.
I didn't even remember that one.
Oh, they are horrible chips. Those new ones, they're horrible.
I didn't even know about that. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and we'll roll out. Lee, I'll let you go ahead. Anything you want to close with? Anything, announcements or anything?
No, not really. I've got a long weekend now. No work till Tuesday, so that's all good in the hood.
Good in the hood?
I've got nothing to do this weekend because I pushed out my build update on Tuesday. It's all dark still. It's all good.
Yeah, well, it should be the middle of the damn morning for your ass. All right. What about you, Mr. Tevers? Thanks for coming on.
Truthfully, I'm kind of sad I'm not wearing my favorite T-shirt today. I bought this T-shirt a couple months ago, and I wear it out when I'm in public on certain occasions, and it says "gay as fuck," and I love wearing it. It's pink. It is fluorescent pink and says "gay as fuck," and I love wearing it out because I get the people who come up and say, "I'm so proud of you wearing this shirt," and then you get the other people who come up and say, "You're horrible." And to me, the word "gay" means I'm happy.
Mhm.
It has more than one meaning. You know what I mean? So anyway, I was hoping I was going to say it and where I'm wearing it, but I'm not. Anyway, other than that, guys.
Tivas, before you go, yeah, can you go, it's Tivas, yay, like you used to do?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's Tevers. Yay. Wait a minute.
No.
Properly, come on.
I'm in my office.
Properly.
But I am in my office and no green screen behind me.
Teavers.
3, 2, 1, go.
But I forget what I used to say. It's
Tivas, yay.
Oh, yeah. It's Tevers. Tevers.
Yeah. It's been so wild.
Yay. Where's the yay?
Hey, he's out of practice.
Yay.
Thanks for coming on. I see Blue Hat. Blue Hat likes your pink because the crew's icons are all pink, and I'm gonna tell you the great add-on, but the icons, oh my lord! But I think it's funny in a ways because they don't care. It's not like they're trying. The icons just it's not pretty, but the add-on works great. So I'd rather add-on work great in a crappy icon than a great looking icon in a crappy add-on. So
shout out to the crew.
Yeah, shout out to them. But thanks to I just shout out to the crew. I thank out to Ezerman's the Ezerman's group and Death Star guys, all them guys doing stuff. Thanks to the crew for their work. And next week I hope to talk about. I had it written down here. Fen.
You forgot One Nation.
One Nation. I'm sorry. Well, One Nation. I said Deceit Group. One Nation Group. I will talk about Fen next week. I want to talk about that. Got some features in it that are a little bit different than some of the others. And hopefully, if you guys have tried Fen, let me know what you think. It's got, again, like I said, it's got some features that some of the other add-ons don't have. And hopefully, we'll see what else has got going on this week. I'm hoping that some other people come on. I love having some guys from the community. Thanks. I mean, Ebony's been on. Thanks for coming on. Tevers, thanks for popping in. Haven't seen you in forever. It was great to see you.
I will try and make it back more often.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
Lex, thanks for jumping on. I appreciate him coming on here and hanging out with me and O'Neill for a little while. I hope Blue has a nice trip. She went to the cottage at the lake with her girlfriends. They're having a girlfriend's weekend, so hope she has a great time.
She didn't take me.
Nah, she didn't invite me either, so don't feel bad. It's a girls' weekend, but you could have wore your pink shirt.
Oh,
You might have fit in.
Oh,
so,
I can henpeck with the best of them. I'm telling you.
I bet you can. So Grindhouse just said updated Death Star to 5.7. So look for Death Star. It's been updated today. So hopefully everyone goes good. Thanks for everyone being on here. If there is a subject you want to hear about, let me know. One video I do plan on making this week, and I was going to do it all this week, and I screwed up, was about Wacko for Android. I did talked a little bit about it last week, but he had changed so many things from version 1 when I did the video 6 months ago to now. There's all kinds of extra features, and I really want to show the extra features. I talked to the developer. He's doing a really good job on that Android app. I want to show you what it's got going on, and then I will show how to install it. So hopefully I get that video made, put it out there. So if you want to install that on your Android device to control your Kodi, or even watch it from your phone through that app. It's awesome.
Sounds good.
I'm looking. All right. I don't see nobody else. As always, streaming matters to us because streaming matters to you. Much love to everybody. Thanks for everybody coming on. And as always, y'all have a good day.
Laters.